Now that is how we start a huge tournament. We've played this game over in Brazil. We've been in North America. We've had teams compete all over the world. We have players here from Brazil, from Macedonia, from India, representing the world of Gods of Boom. Welcome, everybody. This is the Gods of Boom Season 2 Finals! It is time for some action live to you from HyperTown Tallinn in the beautiful country of Estonia. Thanks to everybody for welcoming us to your country. We have the best players in the world wanting to be the Season 2 Finals champions. Yesterday we did Pro Series Europe. That determined the last team to compete on this stage. We have here the winners of our kickoff invitational back at the gigantic IEM Katowice in March. We have here players who have competed at the RedX Arena, 11,000 fans at ESL 1 Cologne. The winners of that, the runners-up of that, the winners of Pro Series Europe. We have teams with so much just achievements and trophies everywhere. Who will be the Season 2 Finals champions? Maybe the Season 1 champions will retain their title. We will find out in front of you here at HyperTown Tallinn. Welcome to the Gods of Boom Season 2 Finals with Lethal, with format. Here are the 4 teams who are competing for this.
Thank you very much, Matt. Yes, these are the contenders, but let's start off with the very first one, the kickoff champion from the IEM Katowice. It is back-to-back. Now, they had a good run during Season 1, and as you can see, the first win on the belt was right at the beginning of Season 2, and it's been a bit of a mix here and there, but so far we've seen quite impressive stuff from them. Yeah, Lethal. One of the things that we keep questioning is, do they deserve to be here? They haven't really had a showing since the very beginning of the kickoff. Essentially, one of the things that Nokia was saying, they're basically saving all their juice for this exact tournament. It should be exciting to end up seeing what they're actually going to bring to the table. Are they really going to be able to leave everything out there on the floor? Another thing that we also end up looking at is Killing Machine's leadership. His in-game sniper skills is just phenomenal. One of those things that we want to end up keeping an eye out. He could definitely end up being the difference maker behind everything that we end up doing.
Well, it'll be exciting to see whether they can turn around what was a little bit of a disappointing performance yesterday. They are back-to-back. Now we have the champions of our last big arena event in Gods of Boom Cologne. It's RedX. When they were there, they were known as Impact Gaming, and this is the team that I think many people would have picked as the champions of both yesterday and today, not least of which Venom, who was pretty confident they would take it all. They won Gods of Boom Cologne, best in NA of every split, winter, spring and summer. Also the winners of Pro Series Texas and Brazil, but yesterday's Europe eluded them. Yeah, that was a huge shock and a massive upset. This team has been dominant for the last 7 months. They've been undefeated, and finally, after all that, Black Bulls managed to take them down. And it's going to be a little bit of a shock to them now. Not going to be as confident as they once were, but in North America, they've done so much. They've won countless cups back-to-back constantly throughout the whole course of the season. And I'm very excited to see what they do now and see if they can get back on their feet after them placing top 4 yesterday. So we get back-to-back. We get RedX and then Black Bulls. Now they earned their spot here through being the runners-up of Gods of Boom Cologne. The winner of that was going to get the place, which they had already done. RedX had already got that as Impact when they won a previous tournament. So the place went down to Black Bulls, who were then known as Lazarus. As you can see, runners-up at a kickoff, runners-up of Cologne, runners-up of Brazil, but they won it yesterday when we were at the studio doing Pro Series Europe.
You know, yesterday we were in complete shock that because they ended up bringing some individuals that we weren't expecting. Unfortunately, Romeo couldn't be here with us today. But Jiren had an amazing performance as the new pickup in replace for Divine King, another change to the roster. And even with Blaze, a phenomenal performance from Blaze, representing India from the Southeast region. Again, these guys have nothing but tactics behind their sleeves and just are flowing great together.
So, yesterday, Pro Series Europe also live to you from here in Estonia. Black Bulls were the champions of that, but as they already had their place, the runners-up, Eanix, got the spot. And I think for a team that's been around in Guns of Boom, now Gods of Boom for so long, I think a lot of people are pleased that it's Eanix who get a chance to fight for the title. As you can see, runners-up constantly, wherever they've been, except for Brazil, which is a little bit slower than that. Runners-up in all of the NA splits, all of that to RedX.
That's right. Second place has been their nemesis placement throughout the whole course of Season 2. But ever since they switched out Optimus for Divine King, there's so many huge improvements. They've been very aggressive, a lot more strategical. They've just an element of destruction here. And Optimus as their coach, that just adds more to the fire, to the fuel really. And with the tactics and by his side, it's going to be very difficult for anyone to overcome. But of course, as you remember yesterday, they lost in that grand finals 4-3. And surely this is their time to finally win a trophy.
Well, it's the one you want to win, isn't it? It's the Season 2 championship. You want to lift the big one, and Black Bulls are, well, no, also add to the fire here, Black Bulls as Lazarus, Season 1 finals champions. It's been a quiet Season 2 for them until now, but they are the reigning big title holders. So welcome to you. This is HyperTown Tallinn. I'm Matt Andrews together with Lethal and Format, and we have Falcone and Stannis ready to take us through the hype when the bodies start to fall and the bullets start to fly. This is Gods of Boom, previously Guns of Boom, now known as Gods of Boom, this incredible free-to-play mobile title that you can download and play when you catch your breath in between the action that these teams are going to give you. There's a lot of it coming. We have a single elimination bracket, 2 semi-finals, and then a third, fourth place match, and our grand final later on today for the Season 2 championship. It'll start off as RedX from America play Black Bulls, again, the winners of yesterday, and then back-to-back will be taking on Eanix, the number 2 seed out of NA. 4 teams, I think incredible 4 teams, the best 4 teams I really think we could have asked for. It would have been great to see more of Brazucas, our Brazilian friends. It would have been fantastic to see Legionnaire, our team from the Southeast Asia region, represent as themselves. But when you think about the games we've had, particularly yesterday, but all through the year, and some history before that, that's the 4 teams to fight it out for the trophy.
I don't think we can ask for a better 4 teams here. Every single one of them done such a good job making it to this day. But one thing you've got to remember now is Black Bulls. Yesterday, if you said to me they were playing against RedX, then my first thought would be, haha, well, you know, this could be a clean sweep here. But they made such an impact. They did such a great job. Completely different team from what I expected. And it's a mix. They're not structured at all in any way, shape or form. But during yesterday and Blaze, my goodness, they did a phenomenal job doing everything they can. And if I was RedX, I can't believe I'm even saying this, I'm worried for them.
It totally caught him off guard. One of the best performances that we have even seen. This mix and match type of mentality, it made Jiren feel comfortable in everything that he was doing. I saw his mid-game go from a shoddy to a sniper, and tremendously, he had no issues pressing them. Blaze was on their heels basically every single time, completely catching everybody off guard.
And so there's the trophy on our stage at HyperTown. And here are the teams for semi-final 1.
What do you do, baby?
This worked for him yesterday. That absolutely worked for him yesterday. I'm not doing it. I'm just alluding to Harry's doing it. These aren't actually his arms. These are fake arms on top of the desk.
One of my favourite dances.
Yeah. So we get it then. RedX and Black Bulls is semi-final number 1, and today they are best of 3s. Our semi-final. Now that's a challenge in Gods of Boom because this game is so fast. If you haven't seen it, if you're joining us here at HyperTown, or if you're watching from wherever you are, thank you for joining us. This is an incredibly fast mobile shooter. 5-minute rounds. We have 3 game types. The game type depends on the maps that are chosen, so we will come to that as we make our way through picks and bans in a minute, as these teams choose which ones they want to play. For a best of 3, that's particularly difficult, because a lot of the games yesterday flipped at the last moment. We had a team in the lead, then the other team, then this team, then that team, and then this team are going to win it. No, the other ones did in the death. It changed a lot, but you then have to come back in the next round and back in the next game. You've got fewer of them today.
Yes, I think the one question here is some of the teams who struggle to come out the gates hot are going to struggle here. And Black Bulls was one of the teams yesterday. They struggled a little bit in the quarterfinals, in the semis, but it was only the grand finals where, when they trying to work out their start strategy, they were able to come out the gates hot. They were made to be very aggressive, but this is not the time to not do it now. If there's any other time they need to do it, it has to be in this match to begin with.
So Black Bulls are here with Lord Mano and Excellency of the team. Jiren is here as well. And then Blaze from Legionnaire, who of course earned that spot in the Pro Series Europe, but due to visa issues, couldn't be here. But Blaze stepped up, and Black Bulls are, or the Legionnaire substitutes, if you want to look at it that way around. They were phenomenal. These guys on the stage are RedX, previously known as Impact Gaming, with Gentrix, Corrupt, Ariel, and Venom. He's the one in the shades, if you don't know him.
You can see Ariel right there. He's super hyped up about this. He wants this. He wants everybody to believe that they're going to get knocked out of this and prove you absolutely wrong. The pitbull out of the group, we say this constantly back to back all the time. The guy's confidence level has been shooting through the roof. He has something to prove right now, this very moment, because yesterday happened to be a fluke for them. He knows that what he ended up doing was a big mistake, and he wants to correct that, definitely.
I think it was a shock to the system because they're so used to winning all of these events, and they lost for the first time in 7 months. They were thinking, okay, wow, we're clearly not the best. We need to try and do something here. But this Black Bulls team, it's remarkable in my opinion. Blaze did not expect that at all, the way he played. He really came out of the woodwork strong, did everything he could, played his own game, they worked around him. And they're saying about Jiren, the fact that he is the silent assassin, their secret weapon. And my goodness, they went wrong.
That's Lord Mano on stage, who was egging his team on, as he always does. He's not shy of making some noise. He has a big place to make some big noise. And now, and there's the beautiful stage at HyperTown, awaiting these two teams to scrap it out. So yes, if you didn't join us for Pro Series Europe yesterday, it was a shock that RedX, Impact Gaming, the NA team here, the team who have won basically everything they've ever been in, went out in the semi-finals yesterday. This and the next game are rematches of yesterday's semi-finals. Yesterday, they lost it. And that was very unexpected, as you already said, Harry. Nobody really thought that these guys were going to do anything other than lift and kiss a trophy at the end of the day. But they lost that one. So if you're on this side of the stage, as Excellency is with his teammates, you're thinking that Gentric on this side and the other guys are going to fall to you again. Black Bulls have got it here, right now. They have got to be confident. They beat them only yesterday. Let's have a look at where this is going to go down. Here are our maps for the picks and bans. We have 11 in our competitive Gods of Boom pool, and we're going to start off as it's a best of 3. We're going to ban 4 out. So RedX take out Military Warehouse, and Black Bulls don't want to play Atrium.
I love it. It's the fact that RedX know how good they are at Military Warehouse, and they're just like, nope, I'm not having absolutely none of that. We're going to keep well away from Military Warehouse here. But Black Bulls, again, know how strong RedX are on Atrium. It's a very aggressive game type. You need so much game sense and aggression to try and keep up with them, but it's kind of like a stepping stone for them here. And you can see RedX trying to keep away from the TDMs, it looks like.
Yeah, so they've banned out 2 Team Deathmatch modes, and Black Bulls have banned out 2 Control Point modes.
Yeah, you can tell that these guys don't want to leave it up to chance. Right here, RedX ends up picking one of their strongest maps here with Saloon. Gentrix is a beast when it comes to holding down that top balcony, but at the same time, we just can't underestimate this Black Bulls team.
I'm pleased to see Skyscrapers because we saw it in every match yesterday, and it was entertaining every single time.
They've had that clutch factor with Skyscrapers. Even though they won some and lost some, I'm quite surprised this is the TDM they wanted to choose. But I assume, fair enough, Military Warehouse has been banned. That is their next big moment to try and step things up. It's always been that clutch factor for them. The fact that when they won Game 7 in Cologne on Skyscrapers, and again yesterday when they played against them, they just scraped it at the bottom of the barrel, just barely managed to beat some of these teams. But if Manu plays on Skyscrapers how he did yesterday, then RedX better watch out.
So Construction Site has been banned out by Black Bulls, and I believe RedX have banned out Europe Street. So guess where our decider is? It's the decider that settled the final yesterday. We will go to Paradise Island if we get that far. And I really think in a best of 3 between these two teams, we are going to go and get some tropical sun.
Exactly. One of the good things about this game, especially if you're new to it, keep an eye on the consumable usage that they end up using across the board. We're seeing Black Bulls be able to manage this and really hold out to save those in those critical moments where it's going to be a G launcher in a group in a small setting, or is it going to be something that you're going to be able to capitalize on a capture point, really?
If we get there, I believe RedX have got the pick of sides for that as the highest seed out of these two teams, but we will see if we get there. I think a 2-0 would be a surprise to any of us. So it is RedX, champions of everything, but losing in the semifinals yesterday to this team, Black Bulls, a rematch of yesterday's semifinal, and the one coming up after this is a rematch of one from yesterday too. This whole day could turn out to have the same grand final that we had at Pro Series Europe yesterday, and if it does, awesome, because that was one of the best competitive games of Gods of Boom I've seen at the end of a day of incredible games.
Did RedX not see Black Bulls play Paradise Island on the bad side yesterday? Did they not have a look and wonder that maybe this could be one of their better game types? I'm actually shocked it went that far as the game could be on Paradise Island. The way they were playing, and we saw so many times, they were at a massive disadvantage to begin with, and they were still coming back, still getting those clutch moments. Some of the plays they were just getting away with. But for RedX to choose that as a last game type, a little bit puzzled, I think.
Well, it was left to the end.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you choose it by not banning it, obviously, is what I understand. Sorry.
I truly think, though, there was a little bit of strategy behind that, because once again, we saw them in the warm-up room. These guys look confident as ever. It was like yesterday didn't even happen. They're basically brushing it all off their shoulders and really coming into this as confident as every other competition that they've ever won.
Yeah, I don't think players like Venom and players like RedX will look at yesterday and go, we were beaten. They'll probably just think, we didn't play our best game. I'm going to be better today. It doesn't matter. We will find out. So, everyone here, wherever you're joining us, thank you for watching it. It's Gods of Boom semi-final number 1. Wild West Saloon is where it's going to go down between RedX and Black Bulls.
Hi guys, Stan is here and here with me, Falcone, and we're starting right now. Excellency already on the point, fighting it out with Gentrix. Excellency is going to take him down, but Venom is going to take down Excellency. Point A is going to RedX. Right now, Lord Mano is going to try and get Corrupt, and he does. It seems like Black Bulls control the points right now. Maybe they will be able to hold it, but we don't know. RedX is going to launch their counterattack any second now.
Black Bulls have got a grip on it at the moment, but Gentrix has a thing or two to say about that, along with Corrupt. Corrupt fights Lord Mano, but does get taken out as Lord Mano, low health, he gets eliminated as well. Venom on the point against several players with the G launcher. Triple elimination streak, getting some real points in there, Stannis.
250 to 150 right now. RedX are quiet behind. Black Bulls are still holding the point. Lord Mano is going 1 against 2. He's going to take down Gentrix. He's going to go down to Ariel, but they are losing the point as Venom is on it. He's going to capture it. They are holding it. Unfortunately, the whole team of Black Bulls are trying to push it, but RedX will not let them pass. Venom with a double elimination right here is going to hold the point, and he's going. Gentrix took Lord Mano down. Didn't get the triple elimination for Venom there, but RedX have the point. They have the score, and they are leading.
They have the score, but only 50, 60 points in it. Their lead is getting stronger and stronger as Black Bulls just get mowed down. Lord Mano eliminated by the double from Ariel as RedX finally have a good grip on the point. Can Black Bulls do something about this? Let's find out. Jiren there with the sniper coming in. Doesn't find any targets just yet. Gentrix with the grenade does get a lot of damage to Blaze, but Blaze turns around with a shotgun with Lord Mano, with Jiren. Yes, Black Bulls are making a comeback here.
This is very close to a turnaround. Only 30 points separating them from RedX, and now they are going to take that down. Gentrix is going to take down Jiren. They will try to get the point. This is a duel between Lord Mano and Gentrix. Ariel with the double elimination. The Blade Master and the Avalanche. Corrupt is going to go for a sniper here. RedX are still holding the point. Black Bulls had it for a little bit, but unfortunately RedX pushed them out completely. Here we see Excellency is going to go for a double elimination. Blaze taking down Venom, but still they cannot hold the point right now. Corrupt will try and get them, but Lord Mano is not going to let him do that.
Ariel rushes in, tries to protect that point, but it looks like Black Bulls are taking it back. Gentrix gets some real damage there on Jiren. Does get eliminated though, and RedX still have control of it. Venom backed up by Ariel, backed up by Corrupt with the perfect aim elimination there. They are keeping hold of this point. 200 point lead now, Stannis. It's getting bigger and bigger. RedX are in such a great spot.
The battles are happening right one after another. 200 points behind. Black Bulls need to think of something. Yes, they are taking back the point, but can they hold it? Ariel with a nice G-launcher against Jiren. Gentrix taking down Excellency. They only need 130 points to win this. RedX are clearly going for the win here unless Black Bulls can manage to take the points and clean up the team. They have no chance here. Gentrix is going to take down Lord Mano. Corrupt taking down Jiren. Only 20 points until victory, and RedX is taking the first map.
What an incredible first game from RedX. It seems so similar to what we saw yesterday in that Black Bulls really struggled at the start of the series. Eventually, Black Bulls were able to make a comeback. But it's not a best out of 5 today, Stannis. It's only a best out of 3, so I don't know if they're going to have time to do that today.
It has been incredible, very, very aggressive right from the start. We want to see, what do you think about that, Matt?
Stannis Falcone, thank you very much. That's a good way to get things started. RedX will be very pleased with that.
Very impressive stuff. Even from Black Bulls right at the beginning, had that 200-point lead during the G-launcher, getting a nice triple to kind of start things off. But there was just no way of stopping RedX. They were constantly sending 3 bottom mid, Corrupt sniping, and he was staying alive on so many occasions and being a great distraction for Black Bulls.
He hit those crucial defensive shots right there in the middle. Basically, they kept their distance in a safe manner. Still able to manage the map flow, basically being able to cover the choke points in a sense where you actually knew where the players were going to be coming from. It set Venom up for perfect double elimination, triple eliminations. In some cases, just a defense, those additional points that you could end up stacking really ends up benefiting their team to come out on top.
And then that's the other thing as well. With this game, especially with Saloon, you have to stick together. There's not many opportunities to go 2 or 3 at a time. And a lot of people and a lot of teams do make the assumption that when they go on in counter-attack, they'll normally go on the top of Saloon or go for the bar. But a lot of these teams now are going bottom mid. But the funny thing is, RedX used the same counter-attack, the same counter-strategy every single time, and it worked. And then again, all the trial and error really helped them.
Good work from both teams. They're obviously coming at this out of the blocks. Here's the scores from the round. As you can see, everybody on RedX with a positive ED, except for Corrupt one behind there, but we can let him off that. Excellency. A bit of a good performance, but not the amazing dominant performances we saw from him yesterday.
Yeah, Venom being the showman that he is, he did an incredible job doing everything he could. And even though Corrupt's at the bottom, I feel like his points doesn't really show or in any way what he actually did. He did so much for that team, the score doesn't show what he should have done, but Jiren is still popping off as he did yesterday.
Yeah, it's an amazing performance, especially for him to kind of blend in with the Black Bulls. The way that he has, it's truly remarkable. I mean, again, I'm just worried that these guys left everything that they had yesterday back on that table and not bringing it in today.
Oh, well, that will be a scary prospect, which RedX would relish to put this away. And a 2-0 for them would make them feel like, yeah, yesterday doesn't matter. Of course it does. You would like to win the 5-time champion, wouldn't you, Venom? But it may be 4. And, okay, so if you're these guys, you had to shrug off a map loss or 2 yesterday. They didn't have a flawless run through this whole tournament by any means. What do they do now? We've got a TDM coming up next, so it's the first of 500 points, if you're not familiar, a team death match, and it's going to be on Skyscrapers.
They just need to completely forget the first map because that was their map pick anyway. It doesn't matter. This is their map pick now. We know how good they are on Skyscrapers, but I hope they kept an eye on exactly what Black Bulls are up to. As long as you shut down Mano during bottom mid and making sure nothing happens, that should be fine. But a lot of these teams have the strategies of pushing top mid at the start. But this team is the only team I've seen where most of them will go bottom mid and try and catch them at a weird angle so that they can take advantage, get the damage done, and then wait for the next wave.
Yeah, these guys are really actually changing the current meta in which people previously thought that it was just a damage game. One of the big things that you see these guys doing is a 3-man incinerator kind of movement. We'll see if they're going to end up bringing that to the map today. But with the incinerator movement, again, you're basically your primary goal is to kind of peek in there, make sure you keep them distracted, burn them up a little bit, and then rotate out and try to get somebody with a snipe, whether at long distance. You definitely end up having to end up trusting your team to be able to hit those shots that it's going to end up cleaning up those eliminations.
It's kind of what Blaze said as well. He doesn't, a lot of people, even with the incinerator, normally just focus on one person, but why do that? It kind of ruins the fact that if you're going to do that, you might as well be using the Odin anyway. If you've got the incinerator, make sure you get at least 2 or 3 on the board on each member of the team, just so there's damage dealt across the board. And that way you can try and finish him off, at least help your team one way or another. Because, yeah, fair enough, if you've got the incinerator and you're just focused on one person at a time or just not even peeking, you might as well use the Odin, mightn't you, Jeff?
It's definitely one of those higher damage guns that just continues to be the powerhouse in the game. That's where people are always asking, what gun should I end up keeping an eye out for, especially when the battle cases are released in the actual game in itself. If you guys haven't checked it out, you can end up actually earning these guns while you end up practicing pro play and also regular matches in itself. Incinerator is also one of those that you could end up collecting throughout the matches. These guys are doing remarkable things with the equipment that they end up having, and being able to manipulate their gear and consumables management is high.
So we may get to a third map as well, but first of all, Skyscraper's going to be with us very soon. And you're talking about the Incinerator. Everybody on RedX carried it when they played Skyscraper yesterday, except Gentrix. But they lost. They lost this map to Black Bulls yesterday, but the score was 510 to 492. It's literally an elimination. One elimination and the score goes the other way. So that's how tight it was. Really couldn't have been much closer than that.
Yeah, you see a lot of these teams in terms of weaponry. 3 Incinerators and 1 Odin, that's normally quite common in a lot of the TDMs here. But let's be honest, with RedX, for the Odin, Gentrix using it is like an AR god, let's be honest. There's no doubt about that. And he's probably one of the players you wish didn't have it, because he is a force to be reckoned with.
2-time MVP, you can't question anything about that.
Yeah. But also Black Bulls, 3 of them carried the Incinerator, and the Odin was in the hands of Lord Mano. So it is interesting seeing this map be played on fire.
Yeah, you know what? That's completely right. Yeah. And you saw with Mano there, he normally does the clean-up duty to try and do everything he can. He's at an obscure angle, normally plays quite unorthodox. You don't really expect him to be bottom mid, but somehow, some way, he gets away with it on numerous occasions, and I don't understand why. But the main thing is for both of these teams, and what I love about Black Bulls, as soon as they get that top mid control, they plan for the ambushes right away, because they know how aggressive RedX are. But let's be honest, this season, especially yesterday and today, every one of these teams are a lot more aggressive compared to what we've seen before.
Yes. Yeah, that is interesting, isn't it? Is that a meta thing? Is that just this tournament thing? Is it we're getting to the end of the season and everybody wants to make it count and leave for our little break until Season 3 as, champions for a long time?
I really actually think that what it is that people have studied all the previous tapes for so long that they know that they need to change something up. If you understand what somebody has done in the previous Gods of Boom series or the Pro series just that we've experienced, it's just remarkable in the sense that, like, hey, let's go ahead and change what we normally do and are able to actually update the game to their best potential.
And that's the thing, it's meta changes, but it's not with the weaponry or the tactics, it's just people's playing styles. In any FPS, you've got to be as aggressive as possible, as quick as possible. And for what we've seen, it's just the game in itself as an esport is developing more as time goes on with anything else. And I wouldn't even say meta-wise, it is at its peak. We've still got plenty of way to go.
Oh yeah, definitely. But the aggression has been shown by these teams, and not just the Brazilians, who, a team like Brazucas, the clue's in the name, they're going to come at you and drop you. And yet on Skyscrapers yesterday during the Pro Series Europe, it did feel like we had a few moments, and I think these teams were responsible for one of them, where we had a little bit of a standoff, where it's like, oh, this is quite even here. I think we were both on sort of 460 or so, first to 500, remember, in a TDM. So there was a definite moment where it was like, oh, no one wants to make a mistake now. And that's really thrilling to see in a game like Gods of Boom. When you've got that much respect for your opponents, you realize, oh, okay, even a team like RedX, full of confidence, it's not a case of, yeah, we can go and get them. It's like, we can't screw this up, or they will drop it and we will win it. They will win it.
Yeah, the stalemates are very common, especially on the Skyscrapers. You will see a lot of standoffs, but normally the standoffs happen quite early in the game as soon as they get the first picks. But it's changed now. It's actually more towards the end of the game, so it shows the aggression there. But it's more the fact that with these setups, these passive angles, as well as planning the ambushes, they're making sure they get the first shot, which is what you need to do every single time before they clear the next wave. And it's very important. Skyscrapers has really developed over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we also end up having to consider is just you as an individual have to also end up tracking what your opponent is doing overall. One of the things I keep circling back on is just the consumable usage. Are you able to remember enough that, hey, they ended up using a G launch right here. Do they have an extra repair kit that's just actually going to make the game actually different? Last night we ended up seeing Excellency face a 2v1, have a repair kit, and walk away with that still living for his team to actually be able to pick that up.
Has there been a change, do you think, in the use of consumables for healing purposes and repair purposes? We talked a little bit yesterday about G launchers and so on, but if you're not so familiar with the game, you can have a repair kit, you can have a stim, those kind of things. I haven't seen a lot of use of them. Am I missing opportunities when they should be?
I think what you'll see a lot of the times is that the Sims are being used at the beginning of the matchups. It's usually after the first elimination takes place, you'll end up seeing the Sims actually come through to kind of reduce that whole like damage to the intake. From there, they typically most players end up going into the health pills. Super common. You end up having so many of those. The game changers are really the repair kits. That gives you your shield back. Essentially, once you start taking a damage into it, that repair kit is going to be the most crucial thing that's actually going to be the game changer. So.
And you'll especially see it in the hill game types as well, because whoever normally gets it first, 6 or 7 times out of 10, they end up winning because it's so important to get that first one so you can bait them straight off the bat. So I should know you'd be using those kind of bits and pieces as soon as possible, like right at the start of the game, I feel.
Yeah. Again, G launchers are the most crucial things on the offensive side, and these guys in Black Bulls, they continue to prove us that anything is possible. Whether it's just one play that you need, it's that one lucky play, or if it is strategic, you got to be able to continue to actually end up using it to its maximum potential.
There's Ariel on stage. We're getting a phone switched out, I think, for Ariel. That's what the delay is here. For Corrupt on stage. It's his one being moved over. There is Lord Mano.
They look so
now, this is interesting. So yesterday, he was doing something I mentioned I hadn't seen him do before. He was covering up his comms because, of course, you had the team opposite. They were head-to-head. Here, they haven't got an opponent looking at you right in your eyes. So it's a little bit of a different environment. When we did the big stage at ESL 1 Cologne back in July, of course, it was like this with 2 teams facing an audience. But the group stage was a brilliant bit again, like literally eyeball to eyeball across the desk. I love that.
I'm not going to lie, Matt. I am a guy who loves to be directly in front of him because when you shout, get loud, get the mentality going, the morale, the momentum, that's everything you need to throw your opposition off guard in any way. You can be strategical in that sense in terms of in-game, but outside the game, get inside their mindset, it's just a completely another story. But they can't do that now. Maybe they can get off their seats and try and shout at them, but they're not going to hear it. They're on the other side of the room this time, so they can't rely on the outer game mentality here to try and throw him off guard, because we've seen them yesterday. They were going absolutely bonkers with everything they were saying to him and trying to get off their seats and just throw him off in any way, left, right and centre.
I think that was, I think Lord Mano was getting friend requests from Ariel on the other team right there. I think they're trying to make friends go, hey, why don't we all lay all the guns down? Yeah. Why don't we just all come and sit together and talk about it a bit?
But I'm still a little bit worried about this game number 2, because even though this is Black Bulls' map pick, it hasn't always gone their way. And when it has done, it's been scraping it from the bottom of the barrel. It's been so close. Always been 1 or 2 eliminations, like you mentioned earlier, Matt. And even if they win this, they've got the bad side of Paradise Island here. And even then I say that, look at them yesterday in a Game 7 where literally they could have, anything that happened which went wrong for them, and they still managed to win this. RedX need to shut them down now or not. It could be reverse sweep for Black Bulls.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that we continue to talk about. You have to love this game because it comes down to those single eliminations that are just the game changers. It's truly remarkable in a sense that it makes it that much more exciting, makes it that much more boom.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's a bit more boom. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of boom coming. There is Excellency closest to camera on stage. He's looking his usual sort of focused self. It's interesting how they split it up between them, between Lord Mano kind of yelling everything and during a game, and then before a game you saw him there. Yesterday he was more like this, and today he's happy for telling everyone what he's going to do. I mean, if you can lip read Lord Mano, please let us know in the chat. But then you've got Excellency in-game, haven't you? Lord Mano seems to be the one before games, and then Excellency is calling the shots during the game. Skyscrapers is coming. Here we go then. Technical stuff on stage is all good. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Let's see if Black Bulls can equalize the series or whether RedX will be in the grand final.
All right, thank you, Matt. Game number 2 starts right now as Blaze and Excellency come rushing straight into the center. But there's a little bit of a standoff. Nobody is actually going to run straight in just yet. Blaze gets hit by a sniper bullet, takes a lot of damage immediately, and the players are kind of scrambling. Nobody knows which move to make. Lord Mano and Excellency trying to sneak into advantageous positions, but RedX are staying back. What's going on, Stannis?
Blaze actually lost his armor to a sniper shot. It seems like very, very cautious, very unlike both RedX and Black Bulls. They are very aggressive teams, and right now it seems like they're trying their opponent out. Black Bulls are actually losing this sniper standoff because Lord Mano and Blaze are already without armor, and only Gentrix on the side of RedX is feeling anything here. Not even one elimination has been made. I don't remember something like this happening on an arena before ever, but this finals, they just cannot afford to lose, and you can understand Black Bulls.
0 points, Stannis, and both players standing back with the snipers. The action is going to start very soon. Corrupt takes a ton of damage there from a sniper shot. So both teams are starting to lose health. The first elimination is coming soon. Lord Mano sticking out. Oh, doesn't quite get hit by the sniper bullet, but RedX does get the first elimination there. Black Bulls get one right back with Jiren taking out Gentrix. Aerial takes out Lord Mano. The action has well and truly gotten underway now.
Now the blood starts flowing in the veins, and we have 31-14, 43-14. It's Venom taking down Jiren. Now in the center, Black Bulls are going to try and flank, but RedX are very sturdy here. They're stable. They are ahead 30 points. Aerial and Venom have almost no health and armor, so they are easy pickings. But Jiren and Lord Mano are also quite weak. Gentrix is going to take down Jiren. Corrupt taking down Lord Mano, and RedX are only widening the gap here.
Gentrix positioned himself very nicely there, not taking much damage at all as Excellency gets rid of Venom. Blaze sitting with the shotgun ready to go. We've seen Blaze do some amazing things with that shotgun recently. Mano takes a lot of damage there. Snipers seem to be the aim of the game this time. But Venom with the assault rifle does finish off Lord Mano, runs around the corner. There's several members of Black Bulls there. It's very risky to go in on your own. Jiren is ready for a fight. Corrupt Jiren. I don't know who we're going to focus on here, Stannis, but the action is really starting to kick off.
50 points ahead. Lord Mano with an interesting scout elimination here. Still, they need to find some crack to get into. They need to find a way to get behind them. Aerial against Lord Mano. It's a duel. Seems like Lord Mano is the one winning that duel. Right now, RedX have no armor on Aerial, no health on Venom, and Excellency is going to take him down, but still, they are 60 points behind right now. They need to push and need to push in one place. Maybe they need to find some courage and just jump in, just dive in right there. Excellency is going to try and do just that, but he did go alone with a G-Launcher. He's going to take down Venom. I think it was a double elimination for him. Still, they're 60 points behind, but I think they are finding some rhythm. Blaze is going to try and take down Aerial. He has no health, so he's going to take him down. Now it's a duel between him and Venom. Is he going to take him down? No, Venom is taking down Blaze. Right now, Black Bulls are still those 60 points behind. It seems like they can't do anything about it. Venom is going to take out Lord Mano, eliminating Venom at the very least. Corrupt taking down Jiren and Excellency by Aerial, so still, not even 60, now it's 80 points for RedX.
RedX just pushing further and further ahead. Black Bulls need to do something. Only 1 minute, 25 seconds left this game. Excellency gets a lot of damage on Venom there, who is finished off by Lord Mano. Excellency now finds Aerial, tries the Blade Master, misses, does finish off with the perfect aim with the shotgun. And now Corrupt, he's coming back, he's on full health. Hits Excellency, but doesn't quite manage to finish the job. Venom runs in, does take out Excellency. Blaze appears, grenades going off. Who's going to win this little shotgun battle? Not sure. Back to Blaze. Blaze is the player that we've seen rushing in with such great success yesterday. Almost gets Aerial, but has to retreat due to losing a lot of armor himself. Now Gentrix finding his way back to the battle. Only 60 points ahead now for RedX. Black Bulls trying to catch up. 46 seconds left, Stannis.
Okay, those 60 points remain. Only 40 seconds. Right now, Black Bulls need to win 2 consecutive waves. They cannot stay there, but Gentrix with a double elimination.
Whoa!
Why do you think they got triple elimination? This is horrible. This is a team wipe for RedX. This is horrible for Black Bulls. They are 110 points behind. Only 26 seconds to go. They need to rush in. They need to run, and they are taking 2 guys down. They're taking Aerial and Venom, but an elimination streak for Gentrix is going to bring them even more points. Excellency is trying to take. He's taking down Gentrix. He's trying to do something, but Corrupt takes him down, not letting him get any multi-eliminations going. They need an elimination streak right here. They need double eliminations, triple eliminations, because they're 70, 80 points behind, but it seems like RedX are not going to let them do that. 2 seconds on the clock. Impossible for them to win, and RedX are going to win the first semifinals.
RedX have eliminated yesterday's winners, Black Bulls, who are going to go home empty-handed. But wow, huge congratulations to RedX. What an amazing performance. Guys, can we hear some noise for RedX?
Well, the fairy tale is over for the Season 1 champions after they won it some time ago now, because there's been a lot of Season 2. But they're done here. Black Balls fall. They do at least take the Pro Series Europe title that they won yesterday, but taking that into this amazing story of being Season 1 champions, having a bit of a rough year and then getting it together when it counts right at the end. Now it's over. They'll fall. We'll see them again as there will be a third, fourth place match after semi-final number 2. So we'll find out where they turn up at the end of Season 2 in a little while. But now, RedX progress to the grand finals, and that possibility of a 4-time champion could be Venom's. And there he is, MVP again. What a match that was, and a very, very unusual one that we had that standoff at the beginning, because I mentioned before about how it got a little bit cagey yesterday when they were on both about 460, and you correctly said, Harry, that usually happens at the start. It did, but it doesn't usually happen to that extent.
Yeah, that was quite crazy, but I always kind of felt like in some way Skyscrapers could be played like that. And the only thing I'm going to touch upon, they both went and been a little bit more aggressive, and then all of a sudden they both just went into a stalemate straight off the bat for the first minute, didn't see any eliminations. They're just trying to get a feel for each other, but I don't think either team both expected each other to be so passive to begin with. But RedX, they had a different kind of setup. They literally gave Black Balls full map control, but they're in this kind of a corner position where even if they were a little bit unaware, they can watch every flank, every angle, and my goodness, Venom just went absolutely off.
That just goes to show you, that's how critical understanding your mistakes are, but you have to basically take one loss and brush it off your shoulder and then be able to recuperate from that. So it's really interesting to see what's going to end up happening on this next matchup, but truly is a critical moment that you end up having to realize what you need to fix.
Venom landed both of his sniper headshots. So did Ariel as well. He is having a good day today. We could see earlier on that he was excited about getting on with this. And Corrupt and Gentrix will follow the boys to the grand final later on. So that's just the first series of today's Season 2 finals. Don't go anywhere, as our other semi-final is up next. Hope you got your night guard in the giveaways. There'll be more coming up between the games later on here on our YouTube channel. This is Season 2 Finals of Gods of Boom, previously known as Guns of Boom, and if it's still called that on your phone, then update your app as it is now Gods of Boom, and if it's not on your phone...
Why wouldn't it be?
Well, you got too many pictures? What? Like, I mean, put it on. It's free. Get it. Right. We get RedX in the grand final. Now, that is exciting news because that's a team who really thought they were going to be there, and yesterday was just a blip, apparently. Black Bulls will settle themselves the Pro Series Europe trophy, but they are done in terms of winning this thing, but they will be in the third, fourth place match later on. We can show you how the day is going to shape up. Semi-final 2 will be next. Grand final, of course, at the end of the day, but Black Bulls await somebody in the third, fourth place match. RedX await a team that they intend to knock aside and get the championships. That'll be a best of 5. Before that, semi-final 2 is a best of 3. Back-to-back and Eanix. And yesterday, in a best of 5, it was one of the most one-sided score lines of the day, but that didn't necessarily reflect the entire match.
Absolutely right there. Now, yesterday, if anyone didn't know what exactly happened, Eanix did take down back-to-back 3-0. Some of the matches were quite close, but one was actually quite one-sided, as you mentioned earlier. But back-to-back, I'm very curious to know, are they hiding strategies? Are they waiting for this very moment just to release how good they are here and to give Eanix a bit of a shock?
And I think we also need to see if that was also a move from Optimus. Was the field just open to see who's going to end up doing what kind of movements overall? Obviously, you want to advance. It was super crucial at that given time for Eanix to be able to move on. However, it seemed that it was more of a comfort level once they found out that Bazookas got knocked out already, as well as Jug got knocked out already. Yeah. So at that point, since you already know that you're going to advance to today's showing, well, why not let the back-to-back do whatever they need to do to see what they actually have?
Back-to-back and Eanix, and here are their players.
We are unstoppable. Back for the win.
That's how it works for back-to-back. That's what they're bringing. In good spirits there, but yesterday ended a little bit too soon for Nokia and the guys. We saw them do that incredible event. They got this place through winning the Kickoff Invitational back in March. We were at IM Katowice, one of the biggest esports events in the world, in the incredible Spodek Arena, that 11,000-seater futuristic venue in Katowice in Poland. And there we expected them to lose. We thought Lazarus, their opponents, now Black Bulls, were going to win that. Everybody was confident they were going to win that, and instead of 4-0 to a back-to-back, made them, as noble as they were then, the champions of that. And that's how they've got here. But since then, it's been a little bit quiet on their front, and yesterday again.
Bit weird. They have been very quiet, like you mentioned earlier. But I think the lineup change they made right at the very beginning of Season 2 for John Wick getting replaced for Nokia. Nokia now been done a phenomenal job here for the team, but you're all right though. They did a great start at the kickoff in Katowice. They were 4-0, and they've been getting second every single time during Season 1. But now recently things have been a little bit weird for them now. This is their main opportunity to make a name for themselves again. We know they have the ingredients to really pack a wallet over Eanix. And don't get me wrong, it was a 3-0 yesterday. They did get pretty much smashed around the park in the first 2 game types. In the third one, it went the other way round. But it's going to be very difficult here. Eanix, ever since Divine King has joined this team, they've become very aggressive, very dominant, and now their contenders in Black Bulls aren't here. Surely this is an opportunity to get their first win underneath their belt.
They have to leave everything on the table. You can see Optimus right here hyping up his players as much as he knows he believes in these guys. He knows they're more than capable of eliminating these guys and being able to advance into the bracket. Right here, you end up having Nokia, Gon. I believe that's Gonzo, or is that Migs? I could never tell the Bash brothers apart, to be honest.
I'm not the only. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
But to be honest, again, these guys have been proving to us that slow and steady was one of the common words that I was saying yesterday.
Yeah.
These guys have slowly been creeping back into the matchups, being true to really who they are.
And having Optimus as a coach, not only that, he's not just a regular player, he's an ex-pro player for this team on Eanix. So this is a huge advantage going into this. And after each match, Optimus can reset their mentality, go through other strategies, discuss the picks and bans. There's so many things he can do to help out this team. And it's a great new addition to Gods of Boom, because we didn't really have any coaches before. Optimus being one of the first ones will hopefully prove why coaching in this game gives you an incredible advantage and will really help out the team.
Yeah, I believe what he's doing with Eanix will demonstrate to other people that coaching is a thing here, which works here, and you will move in. So Optimus is going to be coaching for that, which is why there were 5 of them on the video and 5 of them that are here on stage. On this side of the stage, then, this is back-to-back, so let's address it. So we've got Gonza and Migs, who are brothers, and we have Killing Machine and Nokia, who's furthest away from us there. And I'm glad Nokia was just playing to the camera a little bit then, because prior to that moment, just then, with a little heart, he didn't seem like the Nokia who won Katowice. And his team didn't seem like that team. On that stage, he was so full of confidence, and it was a massive stage. This is beautiful here at HyperTown Tallinn, but that one, 11,000-seater Spodek Arena, that is one of the biggest esports stages in the world. Huge venue. They came onto that to win it and 4-0'd their opposition, who were surely confident they were going to beat them. Since then, we haven't seen much of them. Yesterday didn't look like a team who would step onto a stage and defeat whoever was next to them. Can they do it today? Well, maybe they're holding stuff back, but I feel like that was a bit too cagey yesterday, if so. There was money on the line. You want to win yesterday. You want to show you're here to be... You want other teams to be scared of you.
For their sake, I really hope they have hidden any strategies and releasing them now. This is the biggest event of the year for these guys. And let's talk about KM. He had the highest KD in Europe, one of the most dominant scenes in all the regions globally. And Nokia, he's got the second highest KDA. They have the ingredients, like I said before. And Gonzo and Migs, tactically, they're very smart, they're very unorthodox. If they find a weakness in your opponents, you better be careful, because they'll absolutely exploit it. But Divine King, the man there, he has absolutely changed his team entirely. Optimus, don't get me wrong, commiserations, he's done a fantastic job, and now he's been a great coach. But Divine King has really changed things up for this team, and that man there, he has been MVP almost every single game yesterday from what we saw. And that trophy, this is the big one. Eanix want this more than anything. It's been their nemesis placement in second, but surely this is their first time, hopefully during the season, they'll get the trophy, Jeff.
One of the amazing things is I got to see these guys in the warm-up room. These guys are, yes, they're representing North America. However, they are also representing the Latin community. A lot of these guys are Spanish-speaking. One of the things that I actually ended up getting from Goku, he said, por la raza. And for him, that just means it's for my people, basically. Essentially, what ends up coming out of that, their confidence levels are through the roof. Really, they're hoping to have back-to-back truly on their backs.
And they could do it, and they did it yesterday, so I don't imagine Eanix are pretty scared of what they're going to be facing from Nokia's team. So Optimus was telling me that the change for Divine King was a decision that was made a few weeks ago, so it wasn't a very, very last-minute thing. There was a little bit of uncertainty about whether or not he was actually going to make it. But Divine King joined that roster. Big change for them, huge addition, definitely working out, as we saw from the start yesterday. But Optimus was going to play. He was going to be alongside him, and then he changed his mind, and he said, right, I'm going to step out. He was looking after the team. He decided it was his decision that he, Optimus, was going to step out into a coaching role, having seen how the team evolved with Divine King on board. So that's brilliant that he was putting the team, ahead of his own love for the game. And he's got his love for his team, still got the love for the game, of course. But it's working. And if anybody out there is an aspiring coach of any esport, like it is very, very established in some games, and now we see here in Gods of Boom, there's a call for it. There's a use for it. It'll get more and more evolved into the system. It'll get figured out how it can affect players along the way. They did brilliantly yesterday.
Divine King is one of the strongest fraggers, not just in the region, but globally here. And Eanix, I felt like the potential was there, but they were just missing something, just something which will really bring him out for the entire team, and it was the speed. I always felt like there was times they were a bit too passive in some of the game times, especially what we saw in Texas when RedX absolutely thrashed Eanix at the time. But Divine King we saw yesterday, with the speed and the methodical play he makes, one of the strongest fraggers as well, it's made this team so scary. And if it weren't for this season, maybe for next season, they could be another potential dynasty here, Jeff.
So it's Divine King with Thanos, J-Master, and Goku is Eanix alongside Optimus, who's coaching them. Let's find out what we feel like playing. As I've mentioned, if you're new to Gods of Boom, there are 3 game modes. You've seen King of the Hill, that's 1 point to fight over. You've seen a TDM, a team deathmatch, first to 500 points. The other one that we haven't had yet is Control Point, where there are 3 points to share between the 4 on each team, so that is a lot of ground to cover. And 1,200 points is your target for that. We won't have Wild West Saloon or Atrium or Old Factory. Eanix there, banning out Control Point and a TDM. Wild West Saloon that we saw in the first game, that's not coming. Subway Station's not coming, so that's 2 King of the Hill maps banned out. And the first pick goes to Back-to-Back, who've chosen Europe Square.
Okay, I'm not going to lie, a little bit confused. The fact that Back-to-Back's best game types are Military Warehouse and Subway Station, seeing Subway Station banned, a little bit interesting here. Maybe that they weren't so comfortable on it yesterday, that they decided to go for Europe Square anyways. But Eanix, they have been pretty good at TDMs in the past. Not surprised they've chosen that one. And Construction Site, that gets banned pretty much 9 times out of 10 anyway, no matter what matchup it is.
Poor old Construction Site. Always a work in progress.
You know, you end up seeing here, Eanix ends up picking in TDM and Skyscraper. Like you mentioned, I mean, their performance on TDMs have been incredible. Eanix has been doing a stellar job. I don't want to go too far back, but back in Season 1, Killing Machine was the Season 1 MVP. Divine King ended up winning that Season 1 final. I think he felt that he was going to end up deserving that. Let's see if he can prove it.
So Skyscrapers as well will go back to again, completing its 100% pick ratio so far, and then we do get some Military Warehouse. So I think that's looking a little bit more of a decider.
Well, if it was my favourite pick as map number 3, I'll be pretty much laughing right now, straight into my playground here. But we saw, actually, Skyscrapers was played yesterday between both of these teams, and it was the most aggressive Skyscrapers I have ever seen, and the score was so narrow, 2 frags between both of these teams, and I wouldn't be surprised either if it's going to be a complete repeat from what we saw before, back-to-back. I'm very interested to see how they do on Europe Square to start with.
Yeah, Skyscrapers went to Eanix, and then so did Military Warehouse. So we get to those maps, Eanix will be feeling confident, which means that if you're back-to-back, you really got to start grabbing this by the scruff of the neck from the get-go, and they can do it. But is it the old back-to-back, really? It's an unchanged roster, which is a little bit unusual. It's been together a long time now, but have they been left behind?
A lot of the EU guys felt that these guys were going to be unstoppable. One of the things that it's been kind of shocking to see is just that their lack of performance with it throughout the Cups. Again, EU does have a strong competition out there. It truly is going to be interesting to see what they're able to pull off. I do think it's going to be a battle of the snipers. Nokia has proven to be a stellar shotgun user, but at the same time, J-Master, we've seen it time and time again, he's stellar with the knife. Just being able to stop his route roaming, especially on a control point, is going to be incredible.
EU Square is pretty mad to begin with. There's sometimes you'll see a couple players go straight for B uncontested, and then ANC is left for the opponents, and they're going to win a 4v2 battle and then continue on from there, give them a huge advantage. And there's sometimes on maps like Skyscrapers, both teams playing as defensive as anything. We didn't see elimination and after the first minute. Unheard of. Never seen it before.
Yeah.
Seen 30 seconds, but not a minute. That was pretty crazy. And this is the strategies I'm talking about here. We've not seen anything like this, and I'm so excited to find out if we find any more, not unorthodox, but very interesting plays here to continue on throughout the day.
Format. We haven't had a control point today, so for anybody who hasn't seen one yet, as I mentioned earlier, it's 3 points, it's 1,200. What else do they need to look for?
It's going to be dependent on the routes that they end up starting off their bat. Really, typically you end up running a 2-2 combo. You basically want a buddy system throughout the control points. See if you can pick off those double eliminations or try to catch somebody, gather that information, circle back with your team, be able to get that advantage in some scenario. One of the big parts is really holding up and controlling, funny to say, that B position. But if you're able to work that wall and be able to get in a specific head glitch type of area that's going to gather information and as well as pepper damage other individuals, you could definitely end up benefiting overall.
And EU Square is one of the largest maps in the map pool in Gods of Boom. So coordination gets a little bit more difficult. It's key. You've got to make sure you wait on spawn. But I'm sure, to say the least, both these teams are a lot more experienced enough. But you have to be very careful and watch your back on some of the occasions when the crossfires happen.
So it's a lot of action coming to you. You're going to get a bit of some control point. You're going to see some TDM as well. And for these two teams, I mean, there's pressure now as well. Let's explore the little bit of pressure situation. These guys have got LAN experience. They have big stage LAN experience. Eanix, less so. Back-to-back have done it in a big venue. Eanix come off the back of a slight disappointment yesterday. They made it to the grand final, which they lost, but so close to Black Bulls.
That's where you really test the experience that you ended up playing. Really, you have one chance to actually get the advantage, but also be able to react on that loss. Essentially, you need to continue to brush it off your shoulder and proceed to play the next game completely different than your previous one. If you're having a bad performance, just move on, brush it off, keep going.
And both teams can do that anyway. We've seen Eanix, it took a bit of time before, but let's be real, they didn't really have to reset their mentality in every way, because the first series yesterday were straight 3-0s. They were absolutely dominating here. But they've got to be careful with the mistakes they make. They can't just reset their mentality after a couple of maps. This is a best of 3. If they don't win the first 2 in any way, then we're going to have some serious issues. And I'm starting to feel like now, because Military Warehouse is the last map, if Eanix don't win this 2-0, there's going to be a few issues here.
So Eanix beat them on Military Warehouse yesterday.
Yeah, but it's a different day, isn't it? That was yesterday, and we've already seen a change already. RedX absolutely smashing Black Bulls compared to when Black Bulls beat them 3-2. Completely different story, completely different day.
It's just one day after another. That's how closely matched these teams are. There's very small errors counting for a round loss at the end of the round. You get these pushes where one team's got the lead, then back and forth. We saw all of it yesterday. We saw a 3-0, but mostly we saw very close contests in scorelines, in individual games and in the whole series. We got so many boom yesterday. What can these guys do? Can J Master, Thanos, Goku, and Divine King there progress to another grand final 2 days in a row? Back-to-back shake off what happened yesterday. Getting knocked out of that so quickly. It must have been so disappointing for him. Maybe it was all part of a plan. Maybe it was a big surprise for everybody. And in fact, we are going to see stuff out of back-to-back we've never seen before.
I hope so. It's going to be very difficult to say the least. But with Eanix, I kind of feel like they should have won yesterday from what we saw, especially in that Game 7 in the Grand Finals. But Eanix here, they show a strong level of consistency. It's either going to be close or it's going to be far apart. It depends on the situation as it goes. But back-to-back, Nokia needs to bring out that passion. He needs to come out the gates hot and strong and show them why that him and KM are some of the best players in the EU scene, or else we're going to see a full-on North American Grand Final.
Here we go then. First map of this will be EU Square. Are they still the players that they were? Did they hold secrets back to surprise people today? Or are Eanix going to dominate again? Stannis and Falcone for semi-final 2.
Okay, let's see if back-to-back can take it back this time around from Eanix and avoid another 3-0. It's control points map, so it's going to be completely different. We'll see Divine King is going to go on B. It's 2-2. They're fighting for the center point. Divine King taking down Gonza. Jiren, Javier taking down Nokia. KM taking down Divine King. J-Master with a Blade Master, but Mix is going to take him down as well. Point A is going to Eanix. Point B is being taken by back-to-back, but Eanix are a little bit ahead right now. Only 20 points, but it's still already a very good start. Divine King with a double elimination, and he's going to open it up, and the team wipe with Thanos and J-Master following it up.
Yeah, back-to-back were taking back-to-back points, but not anymore. Gonza coming in with the G-Launcher, does get one elimination on Divine King. Nokia takes out Thanos, and now the eliminations are coming in thick and fast for Eanix. They are getting wiped out entirely, and back-to-back are going to get as many of these points as they can as quickly as possible. Nokia taking point A. Gonza going to just eliminate Thanos immediately as Thanos, oh, he survives. No, now he's been eliminated. Never mind. And now KM going to attack point B. Point B is where it all goes down. Double elimination, though. Things are looking good for back-to-back. No! KM gets eliminated by Divine King. It's back and forth. This is a classic game of Gonza Boom, Stanis.
Still, they had a double cap here, and back-to-back are actually accruing points right here. They're growing 100 points ahead of Eanix, and the double elimination for Gonza right there. We'll see if Goku can land a good G-Launcher. He does. He whittles down a lot of health there, and the double elimination for him with Avalanche. J-Master is going to take down Gonza. They're going for another double cap with back-to-back, but no, Eanix will try to take it back. It's still very easy to turn this around, but Eanix needs to collect themselves. 3 people at the same time. It was very unlucky for him. Back-to-back meets him right there. Divine King is going to go down to Migs. J-Master taking down Gonza. Point B is being retaken, but I think they almost have a double cap. B is being contested right now. Both teams have 1 point to their name. We'll see where it goes.
Those scores get closer and closer. Less than 100 points in it, but Eanix have fallen a little behind. Gonza keeping hold of point A as it gets attacked by J-Master, by Thanos. J-Master falls. Thanos falls as well. That's 2 of them eliminated. On the other side of things, Goku takes out Migs. Gonza so low on health, falls to Divine King as Divine King gets the double elimination there, taking out KM as well. Eanix are doing what they can, but there's still an 80-point lead for back-to-back. Eanix have a lot of work to do.
This is very, very close. They are 30 points away from each other. KM is taking down J-Master. Migs taking down Thanos. It seems like back-to-back are getting on a roll here. They are just a little bit ahead, but a double cap for Eanix. They have the points coming in. They might just have this right here. Oh, taking down Nokia with J-Master right now. Going for point C. Point A belongs to Eanix. Double elimination for KM. Thanos answering with another double elimination at the same moment. They're so close.
This is going to be a photo finish, folks. Eanix have taken the lead. Goku runs into point B, full health, takes down Migs quite easily with J-Master's help. Nokia takes out Thanos. J-Master eliminates Gonza. Goku eliminates Nokia. Eanix pulling further and further ahead. 40 points to go for Eanix. Back-to-back still 100 points behind. Eanix are looking like they're going to take this one after a weak start. There you go. Eanix take the first map.
Whoa, that was just hardcore and amazing. The first one was so close. It was going so hard, and we'll see back-to-back are definitely putting up a really great fight here. And let's just cheer for them. Let's give them the energy for the next match, and we'll go over to the analysts.
As though Stanis needs anything to help him make noise. My good friend Stanis and Falcone, thank you. Wow, all right, Eanix.
That was
dominating. We were saying like a second 2 maps of this best of 3. The ones that we know they've got a good record on in the very, 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 very recent history. But they needed to get that one, didn't they?
Absolutely. That was back-to-back map pick as well. Didn't go their way in favour. But at the end, Goku, his Odin is just nuts, isn't it? He can just take on 2 people at once half the time. He would delay his death cycle as much as possible, take out another person. Don't get me wrong, they all chipped in here and there, but Goku just won it from at the end with Thanos' double as well.
Exactly. I'm so curious to see that stat sheet once it ends up being brought up when we end up seeing the MVP. But truly, you cannot take anything away from any of the individuals that have been playing. These guys are remarkable. The communication level, to be able to adapt the way that they have been, to be able to have that map control, the way that they end up doing it, and let J-Master, again, time and time again, we see those knife eliminations, those blade masters really getting into play. That can make a difference, even when it's such close points in the difference, truly.
I'm wondering if this match now, because the next map will be Skyscrapers, if it will be similar to what we saw before. It was just absolutely a complete mess. The aggression was just phenomenal. It was the fastest TDM, well, for that map in particular, the quickest I've ever seen. And we know what happens normally towards the start, middle, and the end with the stalemates. But my goodness, I wonder if it's going to be a repeat of the aggression or if we're going to see something different out of the woodwork.
It might be. I don't know. I don't know whether we're going to see anything like a kind of copy of yesterday. I think everything might get reversed around. Let's have a look with Goku and Migs leading their teams respectively. Migs only just on points over KM.
3 individuals with 200 points. that is remarkable.
And Funnels actually made some good plays, but the score, I feel, doesn't show with the amount of work he actually put in. And KM, don't get me wrong, you saw more assists and frags. You can't really complain there, contributing to 19. And I said it before, and I'll say it again. He was #1 in KD in EU for a reason, but what more can he do? There's only so much. Some of the players do need to step up, but it was so close and so tight, it's hard to call.
You haven't caught your breath yet, I know, but tough. We're going in. Avalanche. That was everybody's gun, everybody's shoddy of choice in the first map. Do they use it again? Well, we'll find out on Skyscrapers. Back-to-back. Have got to win this now, Stannis.
It's going to be hard now. We're going to see if back-to-back against Eanix is going to go better on TDM for back-to-back. They're already starting the fight. It's going to Mix is taking down Goku. Gonzo is taking down J-Master. Mix with a double elimination right from the start. 72 points for back-to-back. They're starting hard and they're going for a revenge streak here. KM is going to take down Divine King, and only the first elimination for Eanix coming in here from Goku.
That is exactly the start back-to-back needed after that last game, but now they're all low on health, and it's Eanix's turn to come in and strike. Goku takes down Gonza. Divine King there with the sniper as Thanos manages to eliminate Mix, but on the other side of things, Mix with the G-launch does take out Thanos. Divine King eliminates Nokia. KM with the double elimination there. That is what you like to see. Oh, does get wiped out by Goku on the other side of things, but Goku now really low on health.
Now that's the aggression you want. Back-to-back are doing back-to-back elimination. Mix taking down J-Master. Thanos taking down. Mix with a double elimination against Thanos and J-Master. Right now they are 50 points ahead, and there are 4 minutes on the clock. They are almost halfway through the points they need to win here. So they are very fast on their feet. Nokia is going to take down Divine King, and Divine King is going to take down Nokia. So it was a double KO there. Goku taking down KM. They are in the center. Gonzo with a Blade Master trying to take down Thanos, but Thanos was faster with his blades. We'll see this is a group fight happening right here. Divine King is going to go down to Mix, giving him an elimination streak.
Wow.
And that is a lot of points.
Elimination streaks, double eliminations, triple eliminations, they all are so important because of the amount of points that they generate as Goku gets so much damage in there on Gonza before being taken out by KM with the sniper. Mix looking into the center of the map. Can he get that damage in on J-Master? No! He gets eliminated as Eanix now make their comeback. 3 eliminations. Now a double elimination from Nokia. Fighting right back at them. Back-to-back are not going to let Eanix have a repeat of the last game.
They are starting that comeback, but it's not really happening for them, at least not now. Eanix are 50 points behind still. Mix with the Blade Master against the J-Master. KM with the G-Launch elimination of Divine King, not letting the Ace do anything for Eanix right here. Almost 100 points lead right now for back-to-back. They don't need too many points to win now. Half of the match has passed, 2.5 minutes on the clock. Nokia taking down J-Master, and nice Blade Master against Nokia, and at least Nokia is going to finish him with a G-Launcher.
Back-to-back, almost 100 points ahead of Eanix now. This is it's first to 500 is the winner, so Eanix have got so much work to do so quickly if they want to win this one. As KM runs in, the Blade Master fight happens. He does get the elimination there with the shotgun, gets a sniper off Eanix as well, and now back-to-back don't have much more work to do, but Eanix catching up, only 40 points in it. Can Eanix make a comeback? Now is the time, Stannis.
The double elimination was, of course, really good for them. They are 60 points behind still. KM with a really nice old-school Thanatos elimination against Divine King. He won that sniper battle. They need to be really cautious right now. Right here, Eanix needs a team wipe, a triple elimination, or something. They need a lot of points, and they cannot allow themselves to lose even one elimination streak. But KM is going to pick up Divine King his second time in a row. J-Master taking him down. Mix taking down J-Master. Only 16 points on the clock. 1 point for back-to-back, and they're winning the second one, making it a 1-1.
Back-to-back tying up this series 1-1. Like Stannis said, it doesn't get any more exciting than this in best out of 3.
Congratulations, back-to-back, hanging in there. They've got it up to 1-1 now, so we will go to distance on this best of 3. Thank you, Stannis. Thank you, Falcone. Ooh, there's some signs of a team we know from a while ago.
That is right. The passion is coming out. You saw Nokia there going through with the love art straight away. But let's talk about that game. Migs, he went absolutely off at the start, did so much work around that bottom of the skyscrapers. And do you know what? It's nice to see KM sniping like it does, but it's taking heads left, right, and centre. Towards that last minute, he was just unstoppable, and it's good to see again.
You know, that team wipe at the very beginning is absolutely mental. You come back into it and you're like, hey, that game plan execution from the start did not go as planned. So
let me talk a little bit about Migs there. He's MVP for back-to-back, and he's got the most eliminations of everybody, but he also has the least assists of everybody. So he is finishing off his targets.
Yeah, he's basically getting the lawnmower out at the moment. He's just mowing people down when they're weak, which is pretty fair enough. I think the clear example is Gonza and Migs. Both these players, I said before, when they say a weakness, they exploit it. Gonza and KM with the assist, as you can see, Dave's getting the damage dealt, and Migs is the one with the Hoover, cleaning up everyone around the top mid area, and KM was just complimenting with that sniper time and time again. And in all fairness, with the Thanatos, it's nice seeing that back, like Stanis said earlier. But now it's the third and final map. It's Military Warehouse. And let's be real, back-to-back are very good on this.
yeah, one of the things that actually I was concerned about was overall was just the ability of Thanos to be in a support role and actually being the MVP with the most eliminations on the team. Matt, you mentioned this yesterday. Can that actually affect the team overall? Again, you're supposed to play support. There's sometimes that you can't take advantage, that you can't pretty much take advantage of an elimination streak every single time.
Shotty-wise, and if you're not familiar, you carry 4 weapons around as well as other items that you can buy in the game. Shotty-wise, everyone is carrying avalanches all the time. We're going to look out for that again. You look out to see for the shotgun work and then get yourself an avalanche, because that seems to be the choice of Eanix. And back-to-back, it is 1-1 between these teams. Military Warehouse will determine who's in the grand final.
If anything, back-to-back shown that on TDM they are stronger than Eanix right now, by a lot, but we'll see what's going to happen as Nokia and Migs are already incredibly aggressive, running straight in. Goku is going to take that free elimination right there. J-Master lost some of his armor, but it was still definitely in Eanix's favor. Nokia is going to take down J-Master. Divine King with a nice incinerator elimination against Nokia. Gonza is going to answer. They have done some exchanges here and there, but Thanos with a double elimination can really take those points away.
Eanix have found themselves a nice early game lead, Stanis, but J-Master running around the map trying to find elimination. Goku runs straight into the fray as Divine King with the grenade does make contact. Eliminations happening all over the place for both sides at the moment. Things seeming pretty even for the time being. Eanix retaining that 40-point lead. Goes up a little bit thanks to that elimination from Divine King right there. Divine King's on a roll. That was almost a double elimination before getting taken out by Migs, and now Gonza with the sniper rifle. He's about to see Thanos. He's about to cause some damage. Migs and Gonza take out J-Master nice and easily before getting eliminated himself.
Eanix 70 points ahead. They are doing everything right now. Thanos is going to Blade Master Gonza. They are widening the gap. Goku taking down KM. Nokia taking down Divine King. Eanix still 70 points ahead. They are equally exchanging here. J-Master is going to avalanche Nokia down. We see they are almost at 80 points. They are so close to victory. Only 300 points and 3.5 minutes left. It is aggressive, but it's not as fast as the previous game. We see they are doing individual duels. Gonza eliminates Thanos. Nokia taking down Divine King, and they are now only 40 points behind because the double elimination comes through from Nokia.
Back-to-back, starting to catch up. This could be another photo finish here, but no. Divine King takes out Gonza. 50 points ahead now for Eanix. KM tries to find a snipe, whips out the G-Launcher, doesn't seem to do anything with it as J-Master and Thanos and Goku all get their own eliminations, taking out the members of back-to-back, but no, Thanos comes back, J-Master comes back, Migs does eliminate J-Master. Eanix retain an 85-point lead now.
It's a very strong, a very big lead here. Eanix are taking their time. Goku with the G-Launcher against KM. Divine King taking down Migs. Gonza with the sniper elimination. They are exchanging. They are closing the gap a little bit. Both teams are full on armor and they are regrouping, rethinking what they're doing. J-Master is laying a trap there. Will Gonza get into it? No. Here's J-Master maybe a little bit too hard. Divine King is going to Blade Master, run out of the spawn. They are still 90 points ahead. Eanix are comfortably keeping that lead. Goku taking down Nokia. KM with Incinerator against Divine King. What will happen next?
What will happen next indeed, Stanis? We're about to find out. J-Master with the grenade. Thanos runs in there. There's a trade there. no real progress for back-to-back. Can Nokia do something? Goku low on health. Migs running in to support him. Divine King lays in wait though, and Divine King does get taken out by Nokia. Nokia, he's on a roll here. He wants to cause some more damage, but on the other side of things, KM waits with the sniper rifle. 30 points in it now. Stannis back-to-back are starting to make that comeback.
Their Mix is waiting for them, trying to catch them out. They're 30 points ahead, so they don't have need to rush there. Thanos is going to take down KM. Divine King taking down Mix. Eliminating Divine King right there, but Eanix are still 40 points ahead. J-Master with a very important elimination there. They only need 70 more points, and what's more important, they only have 1 minute and 15 seconds left. This could finish at any point, but if Eanix just pull back and wait, they can just win this. J-Master is going to pull down Nokia. Divine King taking out KM. More exchanges happening. Only 9 points for Eanix to win. Only 1 elimination that they need. Will they be able to get it? Will back-to-back pull a miracle? We don't know that. Only 1. Nobody wants to push forward, but this is going to be the fight that potentially can decide this whole thing. Migs is going to try go for another sniper elimination. Gonzo is taking out Thanos. They have 50 points to go. This will be a miracle comeback if they can prove it, but there's only 1 elimination still. Eanix, who is going to get who? I don't see anyone happening. No gunfights are happening. The guys are exchanging shots. Nobody's going anywhere. Everyone is afraid. 1 multi-elimination and they can win. Mix and KM taking down by King and Thanos. Will this be a comeback? They need 2 eliminations. Eanix needs 1 elimination. Who's going to take it? They are chilling on the spot, I think. I'm not even sure what's happening here right now. So where are they?
I don't know, Stannis. Things have slowed right down. Much more tactical for both players as Eanix have stopped rushing in. But here we go. Eanix get the last elimination that they need. They will be meeting RedX in the finals.
Oh my god, that was so long. I have no voice left. They were just keeping it along, coasting, just like, cruising along. Eanix got that win. They tore it out of the hands of back-to-back. Beautiful.
Back-to-back came close, but it was not quite good enough. The celebrations now for the teams on screen. You'll be seeing them again in the finals up against RedX, and I cannot wait to see that finals game.
Congratulations to Eanix there on our stage at HyperTown Tallinn in Estonia, as they do indeed make it an all-NA final, and we have had these teams face each other sometimes in NA, and it tends to always fall towards RedX. I say tends, I mean basically ever. It always has done. Every single split of Season 2, winter, spring, summer, they've all been. RedX have been number 1 out of NA, Eanix are number 2. Maybe today is the day of all days that Eanix can turn that around. Congratulations, Divine King leading his team, his new team, as he's the most recent join to Eanix, and back-to-back leave us.
Surely Eanix can't get another second place.
Wow.
That would be absolutely ridiculous. But this is a much stronger Eanix, but commiserations to back-to-back. They've played their hearts out, especially in that last game. But Gonza, he stepped his game up there, and Divine King just doing Divine King things here. But a North American final, we have not seen this since the Texas Pro Series, I believe.
I continue to ask myself what the name Eanix actually means, and I'm pretty sure it just means Blade Master at this point. I don't know how many Blade Masters we ended up seeing there. It was truly amazing just to be able to see their skill set behind that. But right there, you end up seeing Killing Machine basically struggling to actually perform, do his role, play the position in the sniper role, and be able to hit those pepper shots. Divine King did a tremendous job using the Barracuda to be able to end up working that whole loadout, truly.
Yeah, and it was weird as well. You saw it quite a few times. The fact that back-to-back, they had full map control. They just had to be patient a little bit more and just wait for a second. They still had about 2 minutes left on the clock. Just wait for them to make the first move. You're going to get the first shot every single time. But don't get me wrong, they did have a defensive setup. They were waiting a little bit, but there's other times as well where they just pushed in too deep. And Eanix were like, oh, hello, and just popped them off straight away. We saw that quite a few times. A bit too much over-aggression, maybe a little bit of the panic button pressed there. But as we see there, Eanix at least managed to take it, but just barely.
Is that there's a look there at the old back-to-back we know, but it's not the kind of terrifying team that we thought they were at the start of the year.
Truly, I'm curious if there's something in the chemistry that they just haven't figured out yet. Maybe it's just an equation that they're trying to see what will end up working. Maybe they're playing with the old meta setup that just wasn't in their favor. Now, again, the times are changing. The player chemistry is growing. The communication levels are rising. people are understanding this game a lot better now, and that's the part where maybe they have to go back to the drawing board and see what they could do.
Yeah, maybe they've been a little bit left behind, but let's not forget that they got here to the Season 2 finals by winning the kickoff invitational that everybody thought they were going to lose to Lazarus. So whatever happened between the end of Season 1 and the start of Season 2 turned into them doing an incredible 4-0 on one of the biggest stages we've ever had. So whatever happens between now and the next competitive season of Gods of Boom, we'll see what back-to-back do with that. We will see them in a moment, as they are now in the third, fourth place game. That is coming up after this short break. So don't go anywhere and get ready, because it's giveaway time here on our YouTube channel before we return to HyperTown Tallinn with our third, fourth place match of the Season 2 finals. Give me a laugh. Give me a go. Give me a go. Come on. Come on. Come on. What was that?
I can give the joke
That was a little chuckle.
I can give the joke a laugh probably, but that's probably the closest it's going to go.
Oh, all right. Here at HyperTown Tallinn in the beautiful country of Estonia, you join us on the big esports stage here with the Gods of Boom Season 2 Finals. I'm Matt Andrews. Harry and Jeff, Lethal and Former, are here. Stanis and Daniel Falcone giving us the action as these teams fight it out to be the champion of Season 2. We have our grand final lined up, and it is an all-NA affair, as later on RedX will play Eanix. That is the team who always win everything in NA against a team who usually come runners-up to them in NA. Or today could be the day that all turns around. But it's a challenge. It's a challenge definitely for Eanix. Although this squad is doing well, and RedX had a bad day yesterday. That's the grand final, but before that, our third and fourth place match is coming up next. Nobody wants to play in a third, fourth place match, but there's a lot of money on the line today from the big prize pool of Season 2 Finals. The winner of everything here gets $100,000 for winning this tournament. Before that, our third place match is all European, Black Bulls and back-to-back. And there's history here, Lethal.
A long history indeed. If not many people know about the Gods of Boom scene, during Season 1, these two teams, back-to-back and Black Bulls, were at each other's throats in every single grand final, but in every event there was in Season 1, Black Bulls always came out on top. If they're from the winner's bracket or the loser's bracket, you name it, they would actually win it. But in the beginning of Season 2, finally, back-to-back were able to at least dominate their opponents of Black Bull in a 4-0 sweep, which is absolutely unheard of. And now we're going to see it all over again as history is going to repeat itself with these two teams matching up again.
You know, with Black Bull's roster change, this was kind of what we were expecting. We didn't think that they were going to get so far. However, they were able to pull it off. This is another great opportunity, again, for Blaze just to kind of represent the whole India region. But we also wish that we would have been able to see Romeo here. Romeo being a crucial part of the team. Jiren has been amazing to this team as well. Multiple MVPs throughout the whole matchup. With Lord Mano in itself, this is more of a passion thing. He loves these big moments, and he had something to prove. Unfortunately, it is for the third place match, but this truly does mean a lot to him.
Back-to-back and Black Bulls.
Back for the win.
There are the players of Black Bulls and back-to-back, previously known as Lazarus and Noble, respectively. That's when we saw them with that incredible effort on Spodek Arena. And then since then, Black Bulls have been around a little bit more than back-to-back. Now, based on the performances we saw earlier today, because I think we have proven that yesterday means nothing other than there is a trophy in the hands of Black Bulls. What do we expect based on what we've seen here?
Well, Pride is on the line, and there's still a huge chunk of change there. But the last time they match up in Katowice, you got to remember, Black Bulls had Spleen at the time. But Spleen, again, at the time, was a very, very good player. But now I said it's the same situation for Black Bulls, where back-to-back, still the same lineup, but they got Blaze and Jiren. And Jiren, their secret weapon, has done such a good job. Even in that last series, commiseration to them for getting knocked out so early, he still did a great job. And Blaze, again, another substitute, representing India and Southeast Asia. He did a fantastic job yesterday. definitely the MVP for me. And Ecstasy and Mano actually stepped up as well. Every single one of them had that clutch factor. The reason why I say pride is because it's the history I spoke about earlier. I'm sure, to say the least, they do not want to lose to back-to-back again.
You know, and you can't take anything away from Nokia. Nokia's performance at these showings have just been phenomenal. Again, Nokia is that in-game rusher who knows how to understand the gapping between him and his opponents. And that is one of those most crucial scenarios that you could go up against. And whether it's a 2v1, whether it's a 1v1, him being able to close those gaps. And then also with Migs, being able to actually clean up those eliminations. That continues to be back-to-back, just a great showing.
Yeah.
It was.
So what's different today for Black Bulls? All right, they've fallen to RedX, who they beat yesterday. Are we seeing the action from Blaze? Are we seeing it from his teammates, the scratch team that's come together with him from Legionnaire and the rest of the guys from Black Bulls? It feels like it didn't have, obviously it didn't have the impact that it had yesterday because they didn't win the thing, but that didn't feel like the same showing as Excellency gave us yesterday. It didn't feel like we're celebrating Blaze and Jiren as much as we were yesterday. Even on the losing side, obviously you're going to talk more about the other team, but I don't feel like the performance was there for us to celebrate what they did.
Black Bulls yesterday, even then, they had a very slow start in that first quarterfinal, if you remember rightly. And I said that at the start of the last series, they need to come out the gate strong. They didn't. In the second game, don't get me wrong, it was a lot closer than usual, but against a team like RedX, if you don't come out hot, you're going to get absolutely demolished here, as you saw. But this is where, again, I'd say again, it's a pride thing here. Back-to-back, this is not the time you want to lose. They played against each other in the grand finals of the Season 1 finals. But this time around, they're playing against each other in a third-place playoff at the Season 2 finals. So it's almost the same thing. Sadly, it's not the case. But I'm sure they don't want to lose to them. And they want a bit of a revenge from the Katowice Invitational.
You know, it's going to come down to the in-game leadership from both sides, truly. I keep circling back to the consumable usage. You got to look for that lucky play that's just going to end up being the double elimination, that triple elimination. Set that up for your teammates. You as an in-game leader have to be able to understand that it's not all about your own eliminations. You got to be able to manage the whole map flow and circle back. Look at the way that your team's responding. Is it taking too long for them to get back? You don't need to continue to face your opponents 1v1. Your job as an in-game leader is, again, just manage the whole flow of the map. Make them play your game, don't play theirs.
Manage the flow of the map. Well, let's find out which maps need their flows managed. Where do we go? Now, this is a best of 5, as will be the grand final. So it's a little bit different. We'll have a ban from each side, and then picks will come in. We won't see Atrium. Again, we haven't seen it at all this whole weekend. Not a surprise, truly. Wild West Saloon, we won't go there either.
One of the things that they recently updated in Atrium was, and why we're not seeing it, is that you're not actually able to cap it on the second floor anymore. The recent update makes it a lot harder to make that B capture something that's feasible to do.
And with Europe Square, we saw back-to-back play this earlier, but it was very, very close, wasn't it? I think there was about 80 points between both teams, and they got to a really good start. But even though they lost it, I still thought they were very strong, and I can understand why they'd chosen it again. And it's quite funny as well, back-to-back, it used to be Subway Station one of their better game times, but from what we've seen from Black Bulls before, it is definitely theirs. But I just find this really funny. If it was back in the old days, I would have said back-to-back Subway Station Military Warehouse, it's their game types. It's now completely opposite end of the spectrum here. It looks like Black Bulls have chosen it. And what's even worse, back-to-back have chosen Skyscrapers, and that's the map Black Bulls go for. They're literally choosing each other's picks. It's basically both their teams' playgrounds now.
I definitely think that it's one of those scenarios that we want to front-load everything that we can to get that advantage early on. It's a mental game at this point. You guys, both teams already went through losses. Now it's how are you able to recover from this? And then, you know what? It is a third-place match, but there still is money on the line.
Yeah, I still think it's more of a pride thing than money here. Like I mentioned earlier, construction site on Europe Street is still getting no love, and I don't think we've seen it all tournament, including yesterday and today. No surprises. Not really many teams enjoy them. And then Farming Complex to be a decider. Black Bulls, they've been good, but also not so good. It's been a coin flip for them, depending on how they get off at the start.
I like a bit of Farming Complex. I want to see the cows. Well, Europe Street comes out as the last ban there again. That doesn't always seem to be being left to last. In the case of, well, we're not going to ban it. Are you going to waste your ban on it? Or spend your ban on it? Is it a waste? goes out again. So we've got, let's see what we've got. If you're interested in the modes, we've got Black Bulls have got us a King of the Hill and a TDM, and back-to-back have got us a Control Point and a TDM.
But do you feel it's a little bit risky, Jeff, the fact that Black Bulls have chosen Subway and Military Warehouse? Because I used to think back-to-back were also very good at this. They may be a little bit more uncomfortable in previous months, but Black Bulls don't actually mind. If it was maybe 6 months ago, I would say back-to-back with those game types, they're laughing right now. They're thinking, well, this is already over pretty much, but it's not technically. We saw Black Bulls play so well on Subway yesterday. I think they want a repeat performance, but they also did really well Military on top of that. It's going to go all the way, I feel. It's going to be extremely difficult to say if it will be a clean sweep.
With Subway, there's 3 lanes that you basically have to manage. You have the outside lane, you have the actual Subway cart, and down the middle. You have a long-range fight that ends up happening through the Subway cart. You have a long-range fight that opens in wide open territory down the railway. And down the middle, that's where typically your rushers end up coming through. They're basically hiding through the wall. They're trying to see if you could actually end up getting some information before you end up coming on that flank on the outside. What you'll see a lot of times is that people jump off the bridge on the railway side, jump down that bridge, get into the capture point, and try to close the gap where you can. With back-to-back and their playstyle, I'm kind of curious to see how they're actually going to approach this, just due to the fact that are they going to go for those long-range battles just in the Subway car and make it that Black Bulls have to run that route and the eliminations are going to be coming from there? Or will they try to close that gap and really make it a slugfest down on the actual capture point in itself?
Yeah, there has been a lot of meta changes, as you know, with the track side of Subway. Not many people go there. It's the most open part of the map, which is understandable. Not sure if KM still does this, but he loves sniping through the carriages. He likes to hold that angle for top mid to try and at least bait the hill once it's been captured afterwards. But things could be different. You never know. KM may play a different spot. But he used to do it quite a lot before, but quite a few months has passed since then. So would it be the same fact that they use the similar strategies? Will KM still play that angle? But with the carriages, you've got so many defensive options. You've got so much cover to pull back from, and it's very difficult to get them out the carriages. But like I said earlier, with the meta of the tracks, it's very open, so people will make the assumption no one's going to go that way and get caught off guard. There's quite a numerous scenarios you could be pit through here, Matt.
These teams are looking like they appreciate the gravity of the situation on stage. Nobody wants to lose this. There's the rivalry there. You don't want to lose it to the other team. If you've got this history, as you've so well explored already, Harry. We don't want to lose to them. Okay, or else it's 3rd place in the Season 2 finals. You want that. I say nobody wants to play in a 3rd, 4th place game. Of course you don't, because you want to be in the grand final. You're in this. You definitely don't want to lose this. There is a prize for 4th. Sometimes in events you don't get anything there, but you do here. 3rd? You'd rather be 3rd, wouldn't you? You'd rather be a podium. There's pressure on these players, and it's starting to show.
Just staring at excellency, you can tell he's a little down just from having to play for the 3rd place match, but I could only imagine all the thoughts that are going to what they need to do to execute this whole gameplay and actually be able to excel and come out on top of this. I know that's what's going through his mind. You could just his passion behind everything that he ends up doing, especially when it comes to the game, it's so amazing.
That's Killing Machine there, looking at his stats.
Yeah, Black Bulls, yesterday, they went on an absolute tear. They went on a mission, went on a run there. Back-to-back, they've won 1 map in 2 days. That's something you don't want. But then again, on the other side of the spectrum, Black Bulls, they're going to be severely demoralised after such a strong performance yesterday. And today, it's a completely different team. But I mentioned it earlier, just the fact that now they seem quite slower coming out. But now they had the first series out of the way, the jitters are hopefully gone. We'll have to see what back-to-back can do. I'm sure they will at least try and get at least 1 match of a win, and this is important. There's a $10,000 gap between 3rd and 4th, so not just pride, the money's definitely on the line here.
Yeah, that was the runner-up prize. 10,000 on its own was the runner-up prize for yesterday. Now it's the difference between 3rd and 4th. Remember, 100,000 goes to the champion of Season 2 in the grand final after this later on. Pressure starting to get to players on stage. Disappointment in back-to-back, who obviously wanted to make a statement. Black Bulls with that Pro Series Europe trophy, which, they must have been feeling so good about less than 24 hours ago, but right now I guess that's a little bit forgotten about because they're here in this, not coming away with 2 trophies this weekend, not doing the back-to-back championship. Not only are they not fighting for the Season 2 title, they were the Season 1 champions. They were the reigning season champions. Now they're in this. That is a lot to deal with for these players here on our stage at HyperTown Tallinn as we make our way down to the other side of the stage where back-to-back await.
Black Bulls have always been like this, even since the beginning of Season 1. Even when Gods of Boom first started in the esports scene, Black Bulls have always been the kind of team where it takes them a bit of time to get the momentum going, and once they're in that mindset, they cannot be touched. You cannot go anywhere near them. That tournament will be theirs to take if they're feeling it. But problem is now, they are severely demoralised. Back-to-back probably aren't feeling too much. They probably reset their mentality already, and it wasn't really too good for them yesterday. But both these teams, they're not going to be feeling it. It's going to take a couple matches for them to get into the stride of things, but they need to reset, especially Black Bulls. It's going to be more on them depending on how things go. Will Jiren release that Ultra Instinct side of him again? Will Blaze play his own game? Will Nokia show the passion he normally does? Will KM play how he normally does as one of the best snipers in the game? Or it'll go all the way, we'll have to see.
Format, you've been a pro, of course. How do you read these players on the stage? I've got to say, Nokia is not looking like the happy Nokia.
You know what? I'm kind of curious to know if it was due to his late arrival.
That's also
to
a
the
good
hotel.
point. Yeah.
Everybody here also ends up doing some kind of extracurricular activity outside of Guns of Boom. Guns of Boom has given everybody a great opportunity to be able to play this on your cell phone, to be able to play this at your house. Pick up your phone, start jumping into it.
Yeah.
These players have sacrificed so much time to be here that even for some of them, they're taking vacation days from work just to end up being here. I don't know if this is affecting them, and that is one of those things that we end up pretty much trying to realize. You can't let it get to your head. You got to basically stick this Guns of Boom tournament aside and just kind of soak it all in, bring out that passion that we're talking about, make sure that you have that feeling. And, I mean, even right here, Killing Machine, he's always known to be a quiet individual. However, when it comes to the actual gameplay, you'll see him jump out of his chair once he ends up getting that win. I don't know if I have actually seen that, though, while we've been here.
Both these teams need to treat it like a grand final. They can't be sitting there mellowing on about what could have happened, why it happened, what we should do differently. They need to forget about all that now, because we remember third place here is $15,000 and fourth is $5,000. That's still quite a chunk of change going into this. And this is why I'm so worried about both these teams. They're not feeling it. They're very disappointed with themselves. All the practice, the work, and the effort throughout the entire year, they're still qualified here, and it's taken them a lot of effort. Don't just throw it all away.
Yeah, definitely. Come on, this is a massive thing. You're in the Season 2 finals, and you both got big history this season, right? Back-to-back winning the Invitational. And that is going to feel like a long time ago now, because that is March. But I don't think Nokia will ever forget on that stage of the Spodek Arena in Katowice in Poland, 4-0ing the team who everybody thinks are the favourites of that, going and getting the trophy, ripping off the T-shirt he had to show the one he was wearing underneath, that he planned for that. But Nokia will never forget that, even if it is some time ago. Black Bulls, you had a win yesterday, a big trophy moment yesterday. Season 1 is even longer ago than back-to-back's win, so that must be in their distant memory now. But they've had good contests. They were runners-up when we were out in Cologne, so they can do this. There's a lot that's got you here. There's a lot of success that's brought you to this point, not just qualifying for this, but how you did it. You won big tournaments earlier this year. This isn't the ending that either of these teams wanted, but you have got to show us everything you've got now.
You need to. I've been in a similar situation years ago where if I get knocked out, not early, but almost so close to a grand final, there has been a time before where I've actually matched up one of my rival teams who I hated. I couldn't stand. I wanted to do everything I could to win. And even during that time, I still treat it like a grand final. But these two have been going at it again and again throughout Season 1. Even to start off with Season 2, they were still going at it. But now, with Jiren there, he is the secret weapon they were talking about before, the silent assassin, such a great player from the Unbreakable squad before in Season 2, and he's really shown up massively. Even earlier, don't get me wrong, they may have got 2-0'd, he still showed a great performance, and I'm sure he can continue on, but I want to see more of Blaze. He was a little bit quiet during that series in the first semi-final. And he's another player, he can definitely reset, no problem, and Mano, he stepped a little bit later towards yesterday. And I think if he does what he did yesterday, actually step up later on, then they can definitely take this. I'll be a little bit surprised if they didn't.
That's Killing Machine nearest to us. That's Miggs leaning on the desk behind him. Killing Machine looked like he was warming up a bit. Miggs is looking a little bit like, just let me at him.
I definitely want to end up correcting myself as well. It could also be that the lack of emotion could just entirely mean that it's focus.
Yes.
You truly are zoned into the game. You know what you're going to do. You know what your role is going to actually end up needing to be successful in this. Do you understand that, hey, we're going to end up pushing this point. Hey, I'm going to hit this flank. Am I going to be there at the right time? And game sense and game awareness.
You're right to point that out, but I think my read on the teams was that they didn't want that now, though. Okay, there's a little bit of banter going on between the two. Nokia is about to substitute himself to the other team. He looked like he was going to go over there and go, should we swap? Blaze, you want to come over here? Blaze, let's just mix it all up. It doesn't matter, it's third, fourth.
I hope he doesn't ask us. But yeah, we have to think about it anyway, because in esports in general, as the later years have come by, emotions outside the game is absolutely key. Sometimes if you're on that high of emotions and the momentum, it actually fixes a lot of your coordination mistakes naturally here. But we need to find out the IGLs and the shot callers. It's such an important role going into this match.
So there is one of them. There's Excellency on his feet helping out Blaze. Really, the integration of him into the team is absolutely incredible, the way that worked out yesterday. When you bring in a player that isn't part of your squad with the other three, that's always a challenge. I guess it may have helped Black Bulls a little bit that they had Lord Mano and Excellency, and Jiren wasn't he wasn't totally new to the team, but they were still, involving him. I feel like they were still including him in the lineup. That was still a fairly recent change for him. So it's not like you've got three players who've known each other and played together for years, and you've got to add a fourth. You're already in a little bit of a state of flux bringing a player in. So I guess that made it a little bit easier. But when you bring in a player, we've seen it before, sometimes you've got to let them do their thing, and the three of you accommodate them rather than them having to fit in with your established plan. It's what they did yesterday. There's Lord Mano with a smile on his face. It looks like he's a bit more relaxed now. Or is that the comms hand getting in the way again?
Well, we need to remember that he's not sitting directly in front of him. So, Mano, you don't have to worry about it. You can now talk quite freely, so don't you worry there. But I think we should talk about the Southeast Asia scene a little more, especially the Indian scene. Now, Blaze has made a massive impact yesterday and today. He's really shown that they can really come out, and there's a huge player base there. And from what we've seen, if I remember rightly from the team in Southeast Asia, Blaze isn't even the one with the highest KD. If I remember correctly, it's actually Gunner. So you've got some of these other players who could turn up and cause a massive ruckus here. But it's going to be difficult now. We've seen the maps, and I'm just going to go through the maps a little bit more. Now we've seen a few of the maps here. They're choosing each other's picks. It is a bit weird. Don't get me wrong, back-to-back to start off with, it will be EU Square. They lost it, but it was so close. It could have gone either way. And I'm sure, again, with Black Bulls, they've watched it. They've seen it earlier. They could probably pick up some of the stuff they actually do. A lot of these teams' counter-strategies, they don't actually have 2 or 3 different strats to try and go forward with. They can't repeat the same thing again and again and again. There's a lot of repetition. And when you see that repetition, some of these players, especially with how much experience they have, they will realize that they need to actually stop that. And if they repeat itself again, they can easily shut it down, no problem. I always feel like some of these teams need to have at least 2 or 3. And then I mentioned earlier, back-to-back, the best game types used to be Military Warehouse and Subway. I just find it weird Black Bulls chose it, Jeff.
Again, it comes down to the focus that they end up having into it. I think they're trying to front-load their map picks in the sense that they're trying to get the advantage when it comes to the deciding factor. They probably feel that we could win their maps, I guess and then vice versa, essentially. So what the game is going to come down to is I want to get the side advantage on the decisive match, and that's really what they're going to be able to excel at. You saw it there. Basically, Blaze was having some technical issues. It was something that he wants to make sure that he's actually giving this 110%.
And we want to see it from them as well. With Blaze having come all the way from India and proudly representing his region, and we had an amazing interview with him at the end of yesterday's Pro Series Europe. So if you didn't get a chance to see that, do look it up. Of course, it's on our channels. Great insight there for what it's like to be a player from India, and the pride coming in representing that region. Because if you see any other esports, and there are 1 or 2 other ones, you don't often get to see players from the Southeast Asia region, from the APAC region, particularly from India, given such a big country and so passionate it is about gaming. to see players from that region on international stage is a fantastic thing and shows the growth that's going on there. We're going to go to a short break, ladies and gentlemen. We do have some technical issues. We want these players to give it absolutely everything they've got and see the very best of them, even in a third, fourth place match, let alone the grand final later out. So we are not going to a break. We're going to give it to you now. They are ready. All right. They were just toying with me. The players were like, we'll stitch Matt up and then we'll get him. All right. Third, fourth place. Here it comes. Let's get into our first map. I know Stanis and Falcone can't wait to get on with it, and I'm sure the players can't wait to get on with it either, although I'm beginning to think that maybe we won't get them. All right, we will be going a game imminently.
And it's going to be EU Square. It's going to be the first one, and we spoke it before, back to back. Even though they lost it, they were very, very strong. But Black Bulls cannot underestimate it. I'm just hoping they've actually seen and watched him play, because it was only, an hour ago where they watched it and played it. So I'm sure they picked up a lot of things here and there, a lot of their play styles. But also map number 5, I think I remember, was it Skyscrapers as the decider?
Farming Complex.
Farming Complex, sorry. And even then, Black Bulls have been very 50-50, a bit of a coin flip on that map. Sometimes they do well, sometimes they don't. And it's quite similar to Skyscrapers, actually, considering when they used to play it, it's also been a bit of a coin flip. But that should be a very exciting game 5 if it goes all the way, Jeff.
Yeah, I keep saying it. It's going to be map control, consumable control. Being aware of what your opponent is actually doing. These guys, they happen to know tactically, I guess pretty much Killing Machine is pretty tactical when it comes down to his G-Launcher usage. Lord Mano intends to end up saving it for the last one. Maybe he might mix it up a little bit and guide somebody else to be using that G-Launcher in a different scenario. Another thing I did end up wanting to discuss, though, was Blazin himself. His movements on the maps, especially representing the Indian region, it seemed like it was something new to the meta of what we're currently playing. The Incinerator usage, the Avalanche usage, it's remarkable that he really has mastered those tools to the best of Guns Boom potential.
And I'll be excited to see when we have a full SEA lineup. It's going to be scary. If one member can make a difference like that, imagine if it's their entire team. It will be absolutely unheard of. And this matchup here, one thing I'm going to ask is the fact that with these two teams, if we see the Black Bulls from yesterday, then they should absolutely smash it. If we don't, then back-to-back may just edge him.
It does feel like it's Black Bulls' game to lose, doesn't it? It feels like it's up to them. We're going to do a short break. We're going to get this absolutely right. Don't go anywhere. It'll be about 5 minutes, and then we will bring you this third and fourth place game. Black Bulls and back-to-back. live to you from Estonia, this beautiful country that's been so welcoming to us. This is the HyperTown Tallinn Gaming and Esports Festival. I'm Matt Andrews. Together with Harry and Jeff here, we are in the middle of the Gods of Boom Season 2 Finals. Our third, fourth place match is ahead of us for the grand final with a $100,000 prize to the winner and the title of being Season 2 champions. That is still yet to come. But third and fourth place match awaits us now between Back-to-Back and Black Bulls.
I said it before, I'm going to say it again, this long history between both these teams since Season 1. It's kind of quite nice to have a little bit of nostalgia between both of these teams going into it. But as you can see from the bracket, this is how it panned out, with both North American teams taking over the EU side, and that's how we end up with the match coming up next with Black Bulls versus Back-to-Back. And I'm very excited to see it. Just even though it's a third place, it's not the grand final, it's not the coup de grace, but now I can't wait to see exactly how things will pan out, if it'll be a repeat with Back-to-Back, or hopefully Black Bulls can really step their game up and play like they did yesterday in Pro Series EU.
You just said coup de grace. Fancy. Okay, so the game is just about ready, so we'll be going into that soon. We're going to kick this thing off. Let's remind you, Europe Square, which is Back-to-Back's pick, is where this is going to start. Then we will get some subway and military action, which is Black Bulls. Now, let's just quickly, while we just got a moment, you are surprised by this because you'd expect it to have been picked the other way round.
Yeah. So if I thought about it before, like if it was like 4 to 6 months ago, I would have said Back-to-Back are laughing right now, these picks. They've got everything they need and require to try and win this series. But what we saw yesterday, Black Bulls, they did really well on Subway. They were dominating at the time. And even Military Warehouse, that's how they won one of their games. I think it was by about 140, 130 points, which is unheard of in a TDM, especially at this caliber, at a higher tier level. And now it makes me wonder, what else could Back-to-Back hide? I don't think there's anything else both these teams have hidden as of yet, but because some of the game types are different, there might be more to see here.
Absolutely. You're going to end up seeing more. You're going to see what they're able to provide. You're going to see people duking it out. You got the Bash Brothers that are going to be cleaning up the job. You got Nokia that's going to be rushing, trying to start feeding Killing Machine with those eliminations. And then on the contrary, you end up having Black Bulls. You have these amazing individuals who have trained Blaze, Jiren, and everything like that, where they're going to be able to pretty much guide them to execute whatever they need to.
Let's remind you who the 8 competitors are who are going to be scrapping for third place.
Back for the win.
There's our teams of Black Bulls and Back-to-Back. And if you had some history with Guns of Boom before the game was renamed only a few days ago to Gods of Boom, that's what it is now. If you have some history with this, then you will know these teams, Lazarus and Noble, from some time ago.
In the EU region, a lot of these players from both of these teams have the highest KD in KDA. Now, the fact that KM has got a 1.38 KD, that is unheard of, that's ridiculous, but that's more towards his sniping, I feel like, so a lot of the snipers do have the higher KD anyway, so that's 1.38. And then the Nokia, 2.29 in the KDA department, they're the second best in Europe. They have the top... 2.29,
yeah.
But they have the fraggers there. They have the potential to take any kind of objective game type. And like I said, the better teams, 7 or 8 times out of 10, they will normally take it. It should be fine. That's why I thought maybe Black Bulls would go more the TDM route. Excellency, he is a man where if you said to me he is the best fragger on Black Bulls last year, I would have said no. due to the fact that there'll be game types in the past where he was very good or sometimes not so good. But he's actually the main fragger, 1.18 in his KD department, and he has been absolutely going off. He used to play quite passive, more of a support role last year. This year he said to me, I'm going to play a lot more aggressive. Even though there'll be a lot more damage dealt, I'm going to try and do everything I can. And for what we've seen, Excellency has been playing great throughout the whole course of Season 2.
Yeah, it's remarkable. Just the elimination streaks that he's been able to pull off truly is one of the great players of the game. I'm actually curious to see how they end up working this with their team changes with the recent addition with Jiren and now Blaze on the squad. It's one of those conversations that you end up circling back on. What do we need to change to kind of be able to advance to the next one?
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens here, because between these two teams, we talk about the history time and time again. I'll say this again, and I'm going to say it time and time, of course, afterwards. It's a nostalgia. I like it. It's been quite a long time, but last time we've seen these, we know they started with an EU Katowice Invitational back in July of 2018, and we saw them again in the Season 1 finals in LA. Constantly back and forth, so it is nice to see both these teams match up against each other once more, instead of a grand final, but for the third place playoff.
Jiren there on stage, looking fairly happy. That's him. Rocking out yesterday. Let's talk a little bit about the powder, because I think there are people here going, what? Why? If you haven't seen much in the way of mobile esports, this is baby powder.
I think you'll probably know this better than I do. I just assume it's the fact that it stopped their hands from getting a bit sweaty, and of course with the heats of the phone as well, that's where it kind of happened as well. Or it just be the fact that they're on such a high and they're really involved in the game. Yeah, palms can get a little bit sweaty.
But really, for Matt, it's just because everybody cares about their skin. Is that it?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, our spa party the other day was amazing, right?
Oh,
Let's go again.
Yeah. But speaking of which, truly, the baby powder is exactly what you were saying, Lethal. It's to keep the friction on your thumbs onto the actual phone screen. Hold the sweat back just so that your fingers are able to glide the way that you need to be able to have those maneuvers, the hand movements, the finger movements, truly, because as the game continues to progress, you end up seeing a lot more people using the claw method. The claw method just happens to be when you're using the index finger to be able to knife, get those blade masters, and continue to end up doing what you need to do.
And with this one game as well, it's quite funny. This is probably one of the very few games you do not need a hand warmer. The phone will do it for you. Should be perfectly fine. And, normally people use like a tea towel or like a towel, anything like that, and kind of wait to actually dry it off. But, yeah, talcum powder is needed for this. And I can tell you now that if they didn't, it'd be slipping all over the place.
This is where I'm going wrong then.
Well, there you go. There's a
I'm not
nice
using
tip.
enough. Do you? I like my phone to be clean. But, I mean, these guys, like, one of these players, I can't remember which one it is, but one of these players played for a year with a broken screen.
Yes, Ladam Pacheco.
Yeah, Pacheco. Yeah.
Happened to be working with the broken screen. Made it so far pretty much through the cups. Was able to purchase a new phone. Obviously, that's one amazing gift that Guns of Boom ends up doing, especially participating in these Challenger Series.
Yeah, because Pacheco yesterday, even though they got knocked out very early yesterday in that 3-0 against Eanix, Pacheco was definitely MVP for me on that team. You never get many people who's an IGL, a shot caller, and can frag like he does. To talk about any player in any team, in any game, anywhere, the IGL sacrifices so much fragging potential, and it's so difficult to even be able to do that shot call, control what your team's doing, making the calls, and fragging left, right, and centre. It's so hard. Normally you see them more with the support role, so they can actually see exactly what's going on, see exactly what they're doing, but that's also where you can see from a coach's point of view as well.
Now, what you see here on our stage, regrettably, that, I think, is Black Bulls going to have to leave the stage along with back-to-back. We're in a bit of a time pressure situation here at HyperTown Tallinn. It's not the only esport going on. There are a couple of other games being played today here in Estonia. And we have a grand final to get to, which we want to entertain you with. I am of the understanding, I think, that back-to-back and Black Bulls are going to let us get the stage back from them. And they will play out that third, fourth place game off stage, and we will go to the grand final. We will go to RedX against Eanix in the grand final instead. The biggest game we've got, the end of Season 2, our major finals here for a $100,000 top prize, as well as being the champions of Season 2 before we come back in 2020 with more competitive Gods of Boom. I think that is what we're going to bring for you here. So the two best teams of Season 2. RedX and Eanix, the teams in the grand final. These two teams from NA with this amazing history that RedX has won all of the splits in Season 2, winter, spring, and summer. Who came runners up to them every time? Their opponents in the grand final. Please don't go anywhere. We appreciate your patience. We'll come back as soon as we can with the greatest of grand finals. Well, at this gigantic HyperTown Tallinn in Estonia, it's been a difficult afternoon at Gods of Boom. We won't try and pretend anything other than that. But we have had great action from these amazing teams, and we're going to get some more as it is grand final time. Welcome to the Gods of Boom Season 2 Championship Final. I'm Matt Andrews. I have Harry and Jeff with Stanis and Falcone ready to go. And our two American teams, it is RedX against Eanix. It is number 1 NA against number 2 NA. It is the team who are always number 1 NA against the team who are always number 2 NA. Is today the day that Eanix not only get past their rivals, but in doing so lift the Season 2 Finals trophy. This is the end of our second year of Gods of Boom esports. This is the one you want. Whatever happens as we go through 2020 and our next season of Gods of Boom esports, you go, yeah, we were the big champions at the end of last year. And if it's Eanix, then they also get one over RedX. Now that is everything they want, and it can happen now.
This is Eanix's nemesis placement. Second has been their favourite placement the entire year. But surely this is their time. This is their moment. With the lineup change, with Divine King now and Optimus coaching on top of that, there's so many great things. And one thing I want to talk about, they have scrimmed a lot. Jeff, you mentioned quite a few times before that they're very good friends. They've been scrimming day in, day out. But Eanix have said it's always been equal, if not better. But we're not online, we're offline here. Could be a different circumstances, but this is going to be a cracker of a grand final.
With the recent additions with Divine King and then Optimus coaching, this might prove the meta is changing. Ooh. Get that coach on your team. Get guided to become a better player. You don't have to necessarily be the one individual that your forte isn't so much the gameplay. It's your knowledge of the game in itself. Your overall just game sense, right? That's what we always end up talking about. If you understand the game, maybe you're not the best AR out there. If you could build a team around that, this right here might be proof of it.
Yeah. So let's show you how these teams got here through today's action. They'd already, of course, qualified for this some time ago in Season 2 through their wins in other tournaments, and that got them the spots. We're talking about RedX and Eanix.
What do you do, baby?
We've got Venom playing with buttons in a lift. We've got Corrupt playing with the keys. And we've got Divine King chasing some crumbs. So he's chasing a title now, and he'll want it with his team. We'll get into the maps very quickly. I think this is going to be a best-of-5 grand final. We'll go into our picks and bans imminently to work out where this is going to happen, because it's going to happen, and it's going to come to us. So the bans will be first. We'll get one ban from each team, starting off with RedX. They are not taking us to Military Warehouse. Eanix get their first ban. It's Atrium, never to be seen. Now we'll go for 2 picks from each side. It'll go Eanix, RedX, RedX, Eanix.
Now, with these picks and bans, I'm loving this so far. I think with these two teams, they've scrimmed each other so much. There's going to be a lot of mind games in these bans. They know what each other's best and worst maps are. I think for RedX with Military Warehouse, that's been banned because yesterday they weren't so good on it. But Old Factory coming into play. Don't get me wrong, I don't think we're going to see a construction site or Europe Street still. But Old Factory coming into play is a good one. And Farming Complex, one of your favourites, Matt. But so far, Jeff, it's been quite interesting.
Yeah, with this, it really actually comes down to the side that you're actually going to end up picking. You end up seeing the A side being picked from RedX on Subway. That's not a big determination of the outcome, but over on Farming Complex, that could actually make the difference. Even with Wild West Saloon, RedX ends up getting side A. side A actually ends up giving you a better vantage point, particularly on that map. So we'll see the controls, the map awareness, and everything like that from Gentrix.
And Eanix actually seemed very comfortable on Saloon every single time they've played it. To be fair, in the past they were very good at it anyway, but with Divine King as the addition, who's one of the best players on that map, it's just worse for wear there. Skyscrapers has been banned for RedX. They've never been too comfortable on a lot of these TDMs. Almost every TDM's been taken out apart from Old Factory now.
Yeah.
And Paradise Island, I don't think they want any more of that, especially after yesterday when that Game 7 in the Grand Final, the Pro Series Europe yesterday with Europe Square. Again, Eanix were very good on that earlier in the first series of the day.
So Subway is going to be our first map, and that's Eanix's pick, and RedX have chosen to start on A side. Eanix played Subway yesterday. That was the game that they won by 400 points. That was the one that they beat out back-to-back on 1,001 to 599. So a big 400-point win for them on Subway. So that is where they're going to make their first statement. And they need to get that done because RedX buried a team on Farming Complex yesterday. Knocked Black Bulls down very hard on that. This is going to be fun.
I think seeing Old Factory from map number 2,
Yeah.
RedX have something hidden up their sleeve here. We haven't seen it at all. They're trying to keep it as much as they can, but it's going to be a great show.
It's on. This is the chance to be the Season 2 champions. RedX and Eanix live to you from Estonia. Stanis and Falcone will take us to the Northern Line.
Thank you. It is the time to be Hype King of the Hill Subway Station. Eanix versus RedX, and they're going for the point. J-Master's already on the point. Venom is going to come out and keep him down. Ariel taking down Thanos. Divine King taking down Corrupt with a perfect sniper elimination right there. 77 points already for RedX. They are double elimination for Venom. Right now, RedX are already in the lead for 80 points. They have the point. They're pushing the spawns on Eanix, and they are playing very aggressively right from the start.
Very aggressively indeed, Stanis. Venom went right in there, and with good reason. RedX find themselves over 100 points ahead, 150 points ahead almost. Divine King taken down. Venom comfortably on the point one more time, gets the Blade Master on Divine King. Corrupt with a G-Launcher, taking out J-Master. Thanos falls as well. RedX have complete dominance of this game so far. Double the score of Eanix as Ariel takes out Goku. Venom comfortably with the assault rifle, just mowing down his opponents.
The point is finally being retaken by Thanos for Eanix. Maybe they can be able to hold it. Corrupt taking down Thanos, but Goku gives the favor right back. They have the point right now. They're having a hard time just holding it. Gentrix taking down Divine King. Right now, RedX are already retaking the point. They are 200 points ahead. They seem to be dominating Eanix on it for a very long time now, and they're not letting up one bit.
They are not. Divine King trying to get the shots in that he can. Does find the elimination on Gentrix. Goku takes out Ariel as well. But then on the other side, Venom, Corrupt, and Corrupt again with the double elimination. Getting those eliminations in. Still almost double Eanix's score. 600 to 359. Eanix have so much work to do to catch up this game.
Yes, 300 points until victory. This is very, very intense. Divine King is going to take down Gentrix, and a double elimination for him as he takes down Corrupt. They need to start turning this around. They have the point. Eanix are 200 points behind, but if they can handle that point for at least a minute and win the fight, they can take all of that back. Venom is going to take down Thanos right now. The point is still belongs to Eanix. Right now, it's been already retaken, completely dominated by RedX. They're 200 points ahead, and they're widening that gap.
They are, although everyone on RedX, almost everyone on RedX is weak. Now is the time for Eanix to make their big comeback. Corrupt and Venom both fall. Divine King with the double elimination there, takes out Gentrix as well, but Ariel, ready with the G-Launcher, connects with 2 players before getting eliminated. Eanix now only 150 points behind. They are making the comeback. Is now the time, Stanis.
Now with Venom with a double elimination is ending that time right now. They only need 150 points. Gentrix and Ariel taking down Divine King, and Thanos point contested, taken by RedX. Only 100 points until victory. They are now, all the team is there. J-Master is going to take down Gentrix. Goku is taking down Venom. Ariel taking down Goku, but still only 50 points. But Eanix takes 300. This seems completely impossible for them. Only 2 eliminations until RedX win their first map on the Grand Finals. 8 points and they win!
They did it, and what a comfortable victory that was. Look at the excitement for RedX. Ariel and Venom just looking so excited with the fist pump there.
Well, Venom doesn't look too excited, but they are leading their dominance right here. I think they are holding back a bit, but we'll see what the analysts think on this one. Or us. Yeah, I'm thinking it's pretty amazing here, guys. I don't know. I have no words. I'm hoping Eanix can come back.
It's the finals. Let's hear some noise one more time for RedX.
Stannis with the wave, Falcone with the rallying call. Thank you, guys. First one. It's going to be more. There's going to be more. Don't worry, there will be more. There will be more.
Matt.
RedX would like some more. RedX would like 2 more, to be precise.
The North American Sluggers. North America came to bring a show. That's what you're going to end up seeing. It's going to be a fist battle, just going at it back and forth, back and forth. It truly is going to be coming down to who is able to get those double eliminations, who's going to be able to capitalize on those points.
RedX showed absolutely no fear throughout the whole course of that game. Venom, not only the showman of the team, but the MVP there, showed so much map presence. Commiserations to Eanix. Thanos tried to do everything he could. That's very unlikely though. Goku, he dominated the entire day yesterday, most of his maps, and a little bit quiet today.
Look at the flow. One of the things that I ended up noticing right here is with J Master with the 11 deaths truly is telling me that you're rushing a little bit too hard. That just gives Ariel the opportunity to pepper you and Venom to end up cleaning up. Essentially, get that defense point. Again, capitalize on those defensive points and the whole point metric system that Guns N' Boom ends up having.
It's basically like a sign of over-aggression and lack of coordination there. It is the first map of the grand final. It means a lot to both of these teams and so much money on the line here.
Absolutely, 100,000, remember, to the winner of this. I want to give a shout out to Divine King, second for his team on the losing side of that. Landed 11 out of 13 of his Barracuda headshots. Oh, wow. Landing 11 headshots out of 13 shots is a good effort, isn't it, with a Barracuda?
Should have landed 13.
Yeah. Come on, Divine King. All right, so next map is going to be Old Factory, which we have not seen much of.
No, not at all for even the course of yesterday and today. And it's interesting to see how things go, but I'm looking forward to see what RedX have hidden up their sleeve.
Stannis, Falcone, hope you're ready. The next one is coming at you thick and fast, and it's in the factory, the old one.
We are ready indeed, Matt. Let the second round begin right now as the players, they're still nowhere to be seen at the moment. Players, hello? Players?
Using a very interesting stealth tactic, the players are hiding from each other. We'll see them in a bit, I'm sure. But right now, oh yes, they are. They've been really
There we go. Oh, right, they
there.
were literally just standing back, but now Venom makes his way into the center as Thanos is creeping through. Ariel and Thanos find each other. Ariel takes some damage. Thanos takes some damage. The grenade goes in, doesn't quite make contact with Thanos, but Corrupt gets that first strike there. Ariel Blade Masters Goku, but Goku Blade Masters him right back, and J Master gets the snipe on Corrupt. Venom with Blade Master on Thanos. Wow, eliminations coming thick and fast now.
I don't know what plan those teams were working on their spawn point, but it seems like it involves quite a lot of mid-range fighting as they are working both sides. An elimination here for Ariel, Venom, and Gentrix, so it's almost a team wipe for RedX, so they're taking the control of the match. They're taking the dominance quite easily and early on. They're 60 points ahead, but J-Master and Divine King are looking to change that as they're taking down Ariel and Gentrix at the same time. This G-Launcher might bring them a lot of points, but only takes down Thanos, but the gap is only 30 points now, so RedX they're looking for a really good competitor here.
Yeah, they are indeed, but the point lead creeps further and further ahead. Eanix are the slight underdogs of this game. This is the RedX that we are used to, that we know and love from the previous tournaments. Now 50 points ahead. Divine King does get that snipe on Gentrix, though maybe, just maybe, this is the beginning of a comeback. Goku takes out Ariel, but Venom takes out Goku. Divine King continues Eanix's dominance at the moment, does eliminate Venom, and now there's only 20 points in it.
Yes, it seems like the point difference is not as big now, 150 to 200. As I'm saying this, Ariel gets a double elimination with Avalanche and G-Launcher. Beautiful. Corrupt is supporting him with a sniper elimination on Goku. Goku manages to take down Ariel, but it's almost a 100-point lead. Very hard to come back from. We see a flashbang being thrown in. Seems to be like they are really pushing it. Oh, J-Master with a triple elimination, single-handedly changing the score.
Eanix now find themselves ahead. No! Ariel has something to say about that. Gets the double elimination right back. RedX have got their lead back. They are back on the ball right now. Coming around the corner. Thanos appears, but no, we're going to turn around. We're going to ambush Goku just over here. Oh no, the players have stopped. They've taken a step
whoa.
back. We're calming down for a second.
Yes, calming down, slowing down a bit, rethinking something. Corrupt with a Barracuda right there, trying to do long range here, but takes down GoB, just turns around. He takes him away. Corrupt with a double elimination. Divine King immediately responds. Double G launcher. Beautiful comeback. 353 to 364. RedX are ahead, but just by a sliver.
Not anymore. They're not. Eanix overtaken. A huge round of applause from the audience there. As it happens, the audience, or Eanix have the audience on their side by the sound of things. Let's see if they can deliver. RedX creep ahead again with another elimination, but Goku in that good position does finish off Aerial. RedX creep ahead again. This game is going back and forth. There is barely anything in it, Stannis, but now Gentrix with a double elimination. He is only 55 points away from just winning the game. Eanix have got some catching up to do.
Of course they do. They were doing this so many times, and again, another turnaround. They are slowing down. They're waiting for the chance. Divine King is going to take it right now as he takes down Corrupt. As with an avalanche, Goku responds with the same. They're now 50 points away. Aerial is going to put a stop to that. Maybe he can take down Divine King as well as he's looking for him. No, J-Master is going to go into a duel with him. Only 33 points until victory for RedX. They only need a couple of eliminations, but Thanos and J-Master are going to try and catch up right here. They need a couple of eliminations. Goku with another G-Launch.
Oh!
Divine King with the sniper elimination. They are ahead now. Now both teams only need 2 to 3 eliminations to win. J-Master
Eanix
taking one
are
another one.
ahead.
He's taking down Venom. They are going to go for another RedX. RedX Corrupt taking down Thanos. Who is going to win this one? RedX only one elimination away from victory, and the Eanix do it. It's RedX. RedX with the second map.
I just got to catch my breath for a second there, Stannis. I know you were doing all the talking at the end of that game, but still, oh my goodness. RedX found themselves with 1 point remaining to win, but then Eanix found themselves with only 4 points remaining. But RedX did get there in the end. What a nail-biting victory, but now they find themselves 1 win away from being the champion of the Gods of Boom Season 2 finals.
I need new lungs. Just like no breathing there. It was amazing, incredible, breathtaking. It was just too much.
Look at Eanix there, a little isolated on that dark stage as they are on the other side. Team who won that are now 1 game away from being the Season 2 champions to add to the haul of awards and trophies and accreditations that they've won during Season 2, and yet they look like... Okay.
When you said that just now, I was going to say, hello, darkness, my old friend, because it seemed that way. We were going to say the same thing. Say, chemistry, you see, it's one of those things. But look at that, though. Earlier, you saw them right at the very end. It went to, but why ever right to the very end? But sadly, it wasn't the case for Eanix, but RedX. Aerial was putting on a phenomenal show again. Venom being a little bit quiet, but getting the damage done. And J-Master really stepping things up. And Goku, again, a little bit quiet, but they still got enough time. But they need to do a reverse sweep to get anything done. But I think, Jeff, at the very end, even though they had a tiny bit of advantage, most of their players were weak.
Yeah, I think the best way to put it, as they said in their video, what it do, baby? That was remarkable. I mean, again, these guys are just throwing it back and forth, and it truly is trying to understand who has a better AR, who has a better shotgun, who has better knife skills, and it's proven that NA is really dominant. Showing this performance.
So as a region, I'm sure all of our NA fans of these teams and of Gods of Boom are enjoying the NA stamp that is going on to this, because it felt like Europe was the owner of this thing at the end of Season 1 going into Season 2. So we've got more of this series to come, but maybe not a lot more of it, as RedX are 2-0 up. Farming Complex may be the final game of Season 2. What do Eanix have to do? They've got to stop this now. Not only that, they've got to go on an absolute tear and win everything that we've got left.
Reset your mentality, be super aggressive, go out there and really do your thing. The problem is, with RedX, this is their map pick. This is their potential chance to try and end the series completely, and we'll see how it goes with map number 3.
Eanix, you've got to do it now, or RedX are going to kiss another trophy. It's Farming Complex. Stannis and Falcone, is this the end of Season 2?
It might well be, Matt. Here we go. Already Corrupt with a triple elimination to start the game. But Eanix find themselves ahead. They must have captured the points before we'd even started watching. As Eanix, 20 points ahead, 30 points ahead. What an amazing start for them.
Yes, GoB taking down Corrupt with a Blade Master, 290 points. B and A double cap. Venom is going to take down J Master with a Blade Master. Now double cap still going on for Eanix. This is very important for them. If they can keep this, it's going to be very hard. Venom taking down Thanos and Corrupt taking down Goku. J Master answers with a G launcher. Divine King taking down Corrupt. Gentrix eliminating Divine King. Right now, every exchange matters and every point captured matters.
Eanix just pulling further and further ahead here. 100 whole points. This is the best game Eanix has had so far this final. But Venom takes down Divine King. Divine King eliminated Venom. Also got the Blade Master on J Master. That was the double elimination. And Gentrix gets the Blade Master on Thanos as well. RedX are really attempting to make the comeback, but Eanix still find themselves 100 points ahead. RedX need to cap these points. They've got one, they've got two. Maybe they can get the triple cap. Triple elimination though for J Master on the other side. Eanix are keeping hold of their point lead for now.
RedX almost caught up, but that triple elimination turned everything over. Divine King taking down Corrupt, then is taking down Ariel. Still a double cap going for Eanix. C is going to be taken away by RedX here. We'll see a duel, but Goku is going to take down Gentrix, going to take C. Are they going to turn it to a 2-1? It's 800 points to 640 points.
Look at Eanix's dominance right now. 2 points out of 3. Yes, RedX got point B, but now that's even being taken by Eanix. Eanix have complete control of this map, and RedX have to take this one back if they want the clean 3-0 sweep. Goku runs in and does have this exchange with Ariel, where Ariel takes him down, but then Ariel finished off by Thanos. Eanix on 1,000 points, 200 points to go.
200 points to go. Eanix might just take this. Venom is going to take down Divine King. A and B taken by RedX. A double elimination for Venom. They're doing everything they can to take this back, but is it going to be enough right now? Eanix has no points. A double elimination for Ariel. Another Blade Master. They're closing the gap very fast. Double cap for RedX. A and C both belong to them, but 1,100 points for Eanix. They only need a couple of multi-eliminations. RedX are trying to get the triple cap, trying to get all the multi-eliminations, trying to get all the duels, but Divine King takes down Gentrix and Ariel in a row with J Master finishing off Corrupt, and even though they have only 1 point, they just win. They win the third map, and it's 2-1.
2-1, Stannis. Eanix get their first victory in this series, and it's not a sweep. Eanix are here to show that they've got some fight in them. They are here to take down RedX.
It continues. We won't say goodbye to Season 2 yet. Instead, Eanix start that charge that they've got to deliver now. Every game we've got, you have to win it. On the Eanix side of the stage, and Farming Complex is theirs. We'll bring you the scores of all the players after that incredible game. Eanix running away, 250 points in the lead at some points, but it did feel like we were going to be congratulating RedX when it got to the end.
Yeah, it was a little bit worrying, but finally, this is the Eanix we wanted to see from yesterday. J Master was on an absolute tear, going mad throughout, of course, the entire game, almost hitting 300 points with those 11 eliminations and making sure he's staying alive at every moment possible. But the showman Venom did the best he could, but it was very equal between the team on RedX.
I think it just goes to show that J Master is a control point mastermind, truly showing what his capabilities, letting him actually have those routes that he ends up getting those Blade Masters in time and time again. I know I keep repeating myself regarding those Blade Masters, but that's just how many he has. I mean, really, if you go back and rewatch everything, you could probably end up playing a drinking game.
So, 3 games into the grand finals of Season 2, $100,000 to the winner of this. Maybe Eanix can get it done. It did feel like they were going to be the bridesmaid to the RedX bride again, as they have perpetually been, only this would have been a particularly expensive one to hand to them. Instead, Eanix come at this. We have maybe 2 more maps of our best of 5 before we kiss goodbye to Season 2, and maybe somebody, you know who you are, kisses a trophy. Wild West Saloon is going to be next. Now, this is a challenge. King of the Hill. RedX won this yesterday over Black Bulls by over 400 points. Remember, it's first to 1,000. Eanix, on the other hand, lost this to Black Bulls, the same team. RedX beat Black Bulls by over 400 points on this map. Eanix lost this map to the same team.
That was a different Black Bulls though. When they played previously, it was different, but when he's played them again, that was when they were all fired up.
It's Black Bulls and their reputation against these two teams that might play in their minds. Wild West Saloon, Eanix, you've got to draw the series now.
This map might decide it all as RedX are already on the point. Eanix coming in a little bit late, trying to do a long-range battle. J-Metro is going to do the first strike, taking down Gentrix. Divine King, sniper elimination against Corrupt. Venom is going to pick up Thanos. Goku with a grenade elimination against Venom. And right now, Eanix are ahead already. They have the point, they have the eliminations, they have everything in their grasp to prolong this finals and go to the 5th map. But right now, they have to protect this point as Corrupt and Aerial are trying to push, and Aerial is on the point already, together with Venom. A double elimination from Venom. They might just triple elimination from Venom. Oh, they're turning this point around.
Trying to turn it around indeed, Stannis, but still 60 points separates these players, and it's Eanix that find themselves ahead. Triple elimination from Thanos as Corrupt. Aerial trying to make the comeback. Aerial with double elimination. Divine King gets double elimination back, where Aerial turns his double into a triple elimination. Still 60 points separate them, but now Aerial has managed to reclaim the point. They are here to make a stand.
That was incredible multi-eliminations, covering multi-eliminations with multi-eliminations there, an elimination streak, and Thanos is going to take down Venom. Eanix are still ahead, but finally they have the point. RedX have the point, and Thanos answers with a double elimination. Aerial taking down Thanos, Corrupt taking down Divine King. Right now the point belongs to Eanix, but RedX are going to try and take it. Everyone is jumping on. This becomes a real brawl. Everyone is spawning and coming. At the same time, they're going there. Gentrix, Thanos taking down with a G-Launcher. Venom, Divine King taking down Gentrix. Goku taking down Aerial. 449 points to 390. Eanix are ahead.
Edging further and further ahead through this game. Stannis as Goku takes down Corrupt, and J-Master gets the Blade Master on Aerial, but Venom with a double elimination on Divine King and Goku before being eliminated by J-Master. It's not quite enough yet. Eanix still 100 solid points ahead of RedX. Aerial has something to say about that though, as him and Corrupt get their own eliminations, but Goku standing above everyone else gets one elimination before Venom finishes the job, and then Corrupt eliminates J-Master. Maybe RedX, maybe they can catch up.
Yes, RedX have the point, but J-Master and Thanos want to change that quickly. If RedX manages to pass the 600-point mark, this is going to be completely even. But no, Eanix are actually going to retake the point right here, right now, even though Corrupt and Gentrix taking out Thanos and J-Master. Another sniper elimination coming in from Divine King. Corrupt taking down Goku. This is exchange after exchange, but in the end, RedX still has the point. They just taken it back, but Eanix simply on the multi-eliminations, on the duels, they have more points. Thanos with another double elimination. How many did he get this map alone? Gentrix answering with a double elimination completely. Again, J-Master against Gentrix.
Unbelievable. Eanix still 100 points ahead though. RedX have a lot of work to do if they want to catch this one up. First to 1,000 wins, so it's almost there for Eanix. RedX need to put the work in here. Gentrix falls though as Thanos eliminates him. Aerial runs in on his own, cannot get it done as Divine King gets the snipe. Corrupt eliminates Thanos. Venom helps make the comeback, but only 50 points left for Eanix. Stannis.
Double elimination here for RedX. Triple elimination for RedX. Is this enough? They're retaking the point. They got the triple elimination. Eanix still has only 40 points to go, but can they land at least one elimination on RedX? It seems like they became unstoppable just now, but Divine King is going to take down Venom. Goku is going to take down Aerial. Eanix wins the second map. It's the 4th map for them. It's 2-2. We're going to the 5th map of the grand finals of the Season 2 finals.
Divine King on his feet, on Eanix's side of the stage, as he's rallying his boys that yes, it can be your day. Over on his side, Gentrix and the guys are powdering up.
That was definitely a slobber knock, and that was so close. We didn't know how it was going to go either way, but look at that, Thanos, and again Venom. It's been such a spectacle on this team, but Thanos, it was even one time, he was on such low HP when he was on top of the saloon. He's still got a double, still managed to push in now, but the talking point here on that map, every time RedX managed to take the entire team down, they just could not get the hill back.
Yeah, Thanos has been showing that his gameplay and game knowledge has changed to a more comfortable standing. Overall, Thanos has really been feeling that he's chasing these eliminations. it's remarkable, really, how he's actually playing. Venom continuing to show why he's a dominant performer.
It's going to the distance. That is what this season deserves after all the action we've had all over the world when we had, a Pro Series in Brazil. We've been in Sao Paulo down there. We were in Texas and Dallas as well. We had the fun that we had in Cologne. Our season back with Katowice and the IEM there is where it all began. We have toured around and we have these players from so many regions, as I mentioned at the start of the show, guys from India to Brazil. This is what it deserves. All the hard work of all of these teams and all the players. This is what it deserves. A final going the distance for you, the fans, for this incredible audience joining us here at HyperTown Tallinn. Thank you again to everybody playing this and everybody watching. Europe Square, of all places, is where this will get decided.
$50,000 for one game. It's all going to lead to now. Unbelievable stuff, and the fact that this is going to be potentially a reverse sweep for Eanix. I would not have thought about this. If there's RedX with a 2-0 lead, there's absolutely no way.
I'm ready to see J Master do what he does best on a control point. I'm sure he's going to tell everybody, get off my screen.
Let's go. This is it. This is the final of Season 2. RedX or Eanix for $100,000 right now. Status and Falcone, and we'll go to the buses in the square.
This is the last map right now. We have to see who is stronger. It's control points. So location here as everyone is going for point B. J Master and Divine King taking point C. Goku with the first elimination against Corrupt. Ariel coming in right there. A double elimination for Goku. J Master taking down Ariel. Venom taking down Thanos. B and C are going to Eanix. It's a start with a double cap. Even a G Launcher can't do much about it. Venom is going up there, taking down J Master. Gentrix taking down Divine King. They're trying to retake B. Venom is there, but Goku takes him down. Thanos taking down Corrupt. 170 points for Eanix. They are leading.
Eanix have woken up for the second half of this series. This is not the Eanix that we've seen before, but it's an amazing performance as Thanos does get eliminated by Gentrix there, as himself, Venom, and Corrupt, one by one, eliminate the members of Eanix, and now Gentrix is taking point B. Point A belongs to RedX. It is comeback time, and it is the time that they have to make a comeback.
RedX almost gone for a triple cap right there, but a double elimination from Divine King stops that. And B and A are now going to Eanix. They are still ahead. Maybe RedX were spread too thin, but Venom is going to take down Thanos as he's going to fight for point A. Gentrix taking down Goku. J Master taking down Gentrix. Ariel against Divine King. A and C belong to RedX and Eanix. B is the battlefield. And now we see there's only 40 points difference. RedX are catching up, but Eanix are running just as fast away. A G Launcher elimination by Divine King. Double elimination by Goku. Triple elimination by Goku.
That triple elimination by Goku did some work, but look how close the score is. RedX are about to overtake Eanix. No, Eanix get the points now. They've got 2 of the points captured, and now Divine King looks like he's going to just fool. The G Launcher, though, from J Master did not do enough damage. However, Goku with an elimination streak. Eanix find themselves 100 points ahead. Will this be Eanix's first ever big win?
Double cap BNC for Eanix. RedX only has A, and a double elimination here from Ariel. Gentrix, no health left, burning down, and J Master manages to burn him down to the end. Goku taking down Ariel. B trying to take B. RedX are going for it, but no, Eanix are not letting them. 700 to 830. Point A belongs to RedX, and we don't know what's going to happen. RedX have a chance, but can they take it?
They have a chance, but Eanix are saying no. They are putting their foot down, 100 points ahead once more. And yes, RedX are trying to take the points, but Goku with another elimination, holding on to point A, does get taken out by Corrupt. Maybe Corrupt can get point A, but point B and C belong to Eanix at the moment. B is being captured by Gentrix, but J Master tried to stop him, gets taken out as well. Eanix are starting to fall.
Aerial taking down Divine King. Venom taking out Goku. Double elimination, only 60 points. Double cap for RedX. They might catch back. Thanos is going to go into a duel, but taken down by Aerial. Only 150 points. It is 1,000 to 1,000. Double elimination by Aerial. B and A belong to RedX. Eanix are ahead, but they have only 1 point. They are starting to lose this. They're going behind. It's 1,100 points. Jagger taking down J Master. Venom taking down Thanos. Venom taking down Divine King. It's so close. Only 30 points. Only 30 points to go. One multi-elimination can decide it all. Who's going to take it? RedX have a double cap and they win. They win.
After what's almost getting reverse swept, RedX, the reigning champions of Guns of Boom, they are the winners!
Incredible, absolutely incredible gameplay there. Nobody knew who is going to win. Nobody knew how it will turn out. Eanix had a tight grip until the end, but then RedX just tore it away from their hands. They tore it away together with the trophy and the Season 2 finals.
Stannis, that is one of the best games of any esport that I've ever seen, and you know what? I think the two of us are going to need to rest our voices a little bit, but someone who is not going to be resting their voice is our wonderful host, Matt Andrews, who I believe is in a few moments going to be having an interview with the winners. But there's Venom, 4 times champion, didn't quite manage the 5 times, but he's standing with Matt now. Matt, Venom, why don't you guys take it away for us?
Ariel, where are you going? I got something to give you. Gentrix, come and join us. Corrupt, come and join us here. Let's make a line of our champions, ladies and gentlemen. Ah, Venom, you've always got the show. Season 2 champions. That is your name now. Before we delve into that, Gentrix, anything you want to say to your brothers over there from Eanix? I know there's so much respect between you.
Yeah, there's a lot of respect between us two, being the 2 NA teams coming today. We wanted to prove something. We couldn't really quite do that yesterday, but today we came in, guns blazing. And I just want to say shout outs to Eanix. We're like brothers, we just making it here, us 2 in the finals. We were so excited and so happy. So, shout outs to them. We love them, and we wish them nothing but the best.
Eanix, ladies and gentlemen, the runners-up of Season 2. They're going to hurt after that loss, of course, but thank you to them for giving us such an incredibly close contest. Venom, was it closer than you expected?
Nah, man, it's exactly what I expected. Shout out to those guys. They're amazing players. I love them. And, dude, this finals was insane, man. This had my heart racing more than it did back in Germany. And, man, we got the job done. We needed to prove today that yesterday wasn't a fluke. And, it was a fluke. There it is. And we did that. And I think we're going to go down as the best team in GoB history. No questions asked.
There you go. We know how confident you are. You wanted to be the 5-time champion. All right, it's 4 times. That's still something you can live with.
4 times is something we can live with, man. It humbled us yesterday that we took that loss in the semis. But other than that, man, we showed out today, and we played exactly how I wanted us to play, baby. We made some comebacks, and we put our heart on the line, and we got the job done.
I'm going to have a quick chat as well with Corrupt and Ariel, because we don't get a chance to talk to you guys very often. But as of 4, you get it done. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Yesterday I came by and I performed really poorly. I told my team that I was going to come by today and perform a lot better. And I hope I was able to make you guys proud, man.
It's exciting. It's emotional, isn't it? I can see it in your eyes. It's got you. No shame in that, my man. No shame in that.
Yeah, it feels great. We had high hopes starting this season, and we did it. So couldn't be happier.
Guys, so many congratulations to you. It is yours, ladies and gentlemen, champions of Gods of Boom Season 2. They are RedX!
Congratulations again to RedX. They put so much time and effort in. Had a poor performance yesterday, but today has been completely different, phenomenal, and probably one of the best grand finals we could ever ask for here in Gods of Boom.
Lethal, I think the only way I could end up saying this any better, we ready. We ready. Look.
I can't say I'd missed that. I'm not going to lie. RedX champions of Season 2 and Eanix, all to them again. What an interview that would have been with Eanix if they'd finally put RedX to the sword, but not today. Instead, RedX are the champions, and a slightly humbled RedX by yesterday's action. That's a terrifying prospect.
That was probably a sigh of relief. 20-point gap. EU Square has always been one of those game types. It goes to the wire, and it didn't surprise me again. But my goodness, Eanix were so far ahead at one stage, 100, 150 points. We thought we were going to take it. That reverse sweep was there. But RedX really came in clutch, Jeff.
Yeah, it was an amazing performance from all. North America, here to represent, did what they had to do, and really take down EU teams all around.
Yeah, I know I gave the mic to you, Stanis, but I actually just hand it to my man Daniel over here. What a fun tournament you've had to cast.
It's been good.
Take it back.
It's been good. It's been good.
It's been fantastic. Thanks, Matt. These have been the most insane games and ends of Guns of Boom that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Eanix, huge shout out to them. They put up one heck of a fight. I thought this was going to be a 3-0 sweep, but they almost took the whole thing. Maybe next season they will. I cannot wait to see how these stories develop.
Yeah. And Stanis, your game, kind of exciting, huh?
Completely incredible. It was amazing, and I loved it. Just loved it so much. Casting was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, there you go. Everybody has given it everything they had. And our champions are RedX. Commiserations again to Eanix. And that storyline will live on and on. We will make our way into 2020 with more Gods of Boom action. Remember our game that we love so much, Guns of Boom. It is now Gods of Boom. And if you don't have it, get it installed on your phone. Get involved. Loads of opportunities coming up throughout next year. And maybe you can end up on a stage lifting a trophy and winning $100,000. My guys here, thank you to Format, Falcone, to Lethal and Stanis as well. I've been Matt Andrews. Most of all, thanks to you for watching and to the incredible players for giving us such amazing action. Your Season 2 champions, they are RedX.
Yes. See you in the next esports season next year, 2020. Come see us play.
See oli Gods of Boomi teise hooaja suur finaal, mis siin just Saku Suurhallis teie ees lahti rullis.